Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their court.
The fireworks are not done.
Now getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican for you, Fairbanks watching that.
Literally not true.
I didn't ask you to interrupt.
Is that correct?
Oh, for Trump's sake.
Good morning. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Happy Friday to you. It is a wonderful Friday. I guess all Fridays are sort of wonderful. But... All right, here we go. All right, Sweet Magnolia 15, congratulations. You were first in chat today. I think this is your first time. I think so. That or you changed your name, which could happen. But this is the first offense for you, so because of that, I need to explain a little bit more clearly. What you did is you broke the stillness, the silence of the morning with your chat, and then all this broke loose. So we're punishing you for everything that happens in chat today, and the punishment is we're sentencing you to internet ownership. You're responsible for everything IP related worldwide. Good luck. Good riddance. It's going to be great. Did see the news this morning and tweeted out as well that looks like they have finally caught the shooter in Utah. Looks like his
don't put a diplomatic plate on a hoopty.
His father and a church minister of some sort were instrumental in getting him to turn himself into the police station. His father drove him to the police station, from what we're hearing. Press conference to follow shortly, but it was just a matter of time. There was so many tips, so much coming in that it was a matter of time. I don't know which police station they drove him to. I have been up this morning looking for the jail, the mugshot photo, because we're interested in crime stuff, and this apparently will be a death penalty case. Because Utah does have the death penalty. So far, Weber County, Davis County, Salt Lake County. I'm still looking Salt Lake County and Utah County. Some like the 4 counties there along the Wasatch Front in the area that near where this happened. I have not found any booking photos in jail. Provo County, which is or Utah County, which is the county where the shooting took place in. If that was where he was. Is delayed. They haven't listed any new arrests since the 9th or the 10th. So you're saying southern Utah? Is he in southern Utah? Anyway, I've looked at some jail. Marshals have him currently. He probably hasn't hit the jail yet. U.S. Marshals have him? Well, he would have been at least arrested. But he wouldn't have gone through a booking process, I'm guessing. So he was arrested in southern Utah.
Your Honor.
Okay, well we'll have to follow that. Well, that gets rid of Salt Lake, Utah, Davis, and Weber counties. All right, Sweet Magnolia, congratulations. You'll do the best with the internet. Congratulations. You're going to do great. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's wonderful. All right. It's hopeful that the dad participated and the church leader, whoever it was, participated. Obviously, people around him knew this was wrong and knew this couldn't stand. And even when it's they're somebody they knew, they did the right thing. So. Will I be covering the press conference? It's a tough one. We haven't followed it thus far. Give me a minute. I'm pretty sure all the mods will scream a resounding no, just because, not that it's not worth covering, but because it tends to bring in people who want to shout and yell stuff in chat that just makes their life miserable, from either side. So, and it's Pickles, Pickles, Pickles. I'm very interested in the legal case that will move forward, whether the feds try to take him or the state tries to take him. Both have the death penalty, I believe, both the feds and the state. But as far as everything else, we'll wait. All right. Quick, it's time for birthdays. We have to celebrate birthdays. Looks like we have Emily Aarons.
Now I'm trying to have court. You don't raise your voice.
I'm sorry. I'll talk a little quieter. We have Emily Aarons, Maureen, Lori Loves Montana, Heidi, Ayden, Trixie 12, Allison, Wendy King, Erica, Rida, Riyadh. It's Riyadh, sorry, not Rida. Cindy, Enjoy the Moment, and Kells Bells. That's this. If this is not a two-verser, I don't know what is. So we're going to sing Happy Birthday to get our day started, and then we'll be going about our business today. Let's everyone stand up, take a deep breath, shoulders back, project your voice to the back of the room, blend your voice with your neighbor, warm up with me if you will. La 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 la. All right, we got it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Emily Aarons, Maureen, Lori, Loves Montana, Heidi, and Ayden. Happy birthday to you. Okay, I only got these ones so far. We still need Trixie 12, Allison, Wendy King, Erica, Riyadh, Cindy, Enjoy the Moment, and Kells Bells. So this is probably 3 verses. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Trixie 12, Allison, Wendy King, Erica, Riyadh. Happy birthday to you. Another verse. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Cindy. Enjoy the moment and Kells Bells. Happy birthday to you. Oh, wow. 3 verses with just a brief interlude. Red Pen says, Add Austin. Okay, we'll do one more verse. This is going to be a 4-verser. I don't think we can do 5. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Austin. Happy birthday to you. To all those who are celebrating their birthday today, happy birthday. I realize there are a million places you could be and a million people you could have celebrated with, but you chose to be here with us. The privilege, the pleasure, the honor, the joy is ours. Hopefully we can return some of that joy back to you, make your day a little more specialer. Begin by helping yourself to free pancakes at Denny's, IHOP Village Inn, Waffle House, McDonald's, Tammy Dunlap's House, Andy's Grill, Bob Evans, and Cracker Barrel. Wow. That was a big one. I think we need Judge Fleischer to weigh in on this one. Can someone do an exclamation point HBD? Drum solo.
Happy birthday. You look good.
That was perfect, Ricky. See, the timing was wonderful. It was wonderful. Appreciate it. All right. Wow. Good morning. Good morning to one and all. I'm checking. I don't know if we're going to follow the press conference. We might just briefly follow it just to see what is going on. But we've got court to watch today. Oops, that's not it. They haven't started the briefing yet, so all I'm interested in is I'm interested in the name. I'd like to see if they release the name here.
Utah Department.
That's Fox News has something up. Associated Press has something up. I'll keep an eye on this one. They released the name. Sweet. I haven't seen it yet. I was busy going live this morning. I don't think they released the name. We can all behave here. Yeah, we're going to behave. Red Pen, thank you for the reminder. I'm not seeing the name. I've seen a lot of names being thrown out there, but nothing released. Let's see. Brian Anton, 52 seconds ago, says more info on the Charlie Kirk alleged assassin from source. Taken into custody in southern Utah, so that could be, Moab, St. George, some of these areas you guys have heard about. Beautiful, beautiful dry desert area down there. I've got family down there. He was on the FBI's radar yesterday and was initially identified through facial recognition investigative methods. Shout out to a former employer of mine. He confessed to his father. There are some names being out there, but I don't think it's officially released yet, so I won't say anything. You guys, be nice, be nice. Let's see. His father turned him in. We can show you this. I don't know what you've seen before. I don't know. That's a view of the press conference that will be happening shortly. The fun fact, the flag with the beehive on it, Utah just barely changed their state flag, probably within the last 2 years. Up until this point, it looked much more like the one on the right. As a matter of fact, it's very, very similar to the one on the right. The new one is completely new, and it wasn't well received initially by a lot of people, but it is a cool flag. It's very bold. The last one had a lot of writing and detail, but only in the very center, and the rest was just a dark blue. But recently changed their state flag. Not many states do that very often. So, other fun facts about Utah while we're talking about this particular case, just while we cover the arrest information. That Utah, the place I used to live, has very interesting laws. First of all, it's I know we're not going into politics here, but it is statistically, it is the most conservative state in it is the most conservative state in the United States. Statistically, just if you look at the parties that are represented, and the area where the shooting occurred is in the most conservative county in the most conservative state. Which is interesting. Now, because of that, a lot of the laws in Utah reflect some of those values. So that's why they still have conservatives generally more open to the death penalty. For one, that seems to trend that direction. Also, they're more open to Second Amendment type things, firearms. So firearm ownership is very high in the state. Concealed carry licenses are given out like candy. I know, I got one. And one of the states, this isn't common across the United States, but one of the states where it's actually legal to carry a concealed weapon on the school campus. So as a college student, if you have a license to carry a concealed weapon, you can actually pack it to class. You can't get out and wave it around. That would be against the law. But it would be legal to carry a firearm in a college campus, especially anything that was state-owned, because the laws of the state only allow private organizations to ban firearms. So, like BYU is a privately owned school, and they banned carrying guns on campus. University of Utah is a state-run school, and they can't ban carrying guns on campus. So, interesting little facts. But We are watching just briefly. We're waiting for a press conference to start, which might start at 9:30, so in about 5 minutes. We just want to hear the news, as a lot of people have followed the shooting of Charlie Kirk. That he was. I don't think there's any other word that you can use other than assassinated, and killed at UVU, Utah Valley University, in Orem, which is just outside Provo, just the other day. And there's been a massive manhunt trying to catch someone. We got word this morning that they do have who they believe to be the shooter in custody. You can find names and pictures of him on the internet, but until it's announced officially, right now it's just per multiple reports. I wouldn't want to risk my home by calling out the wrong person. So that's it. So we're going to follow this just for a little bit, not for for any political reason, and please don't introduce the politics here, because there are plenty of great places to discuss politics. It's just very difficult to do it in a internet forum like this, with any sort of effectiveness. It ends up just all of us yelling into the abyss, and then we all leave angry, and that's no fun. So let's not do that. It is Friday after all, and we're all friends. So appreciate that. And for the mod's sake, Red Pen, thank you. Just the investigative aspect. I'm interested in a couple things. Obviously, they said they found him using facial recognition. I used to work for a company that did a lot of that. Some of the software that my company works on is used at the border, is used in airports and major areas of throughput for a lot of people, and it's phenomenal what it can pick up. Like true crime, not true crime, like future crime. What was they call it? That movie, pre-crime, like that level. Oh, I'm getting some Toffee Crunch Oreos, chocolate flavored cream Oreos, dark chocolate, Java chip Oreos. Holy cow. Last night, if you didn't know, I tested 5 types of Oreos for your convenience, so you won't have to. And I did rate them from 5 to 1 and gave a winner. So if you want to know which Oreos are best out of those 5, just watch the podcast last night. Hope this doesn't move to a federal court. The governor of Utah, Governor Spencer Cox, has pledged that they are going to proceed and proceed with the death penalty on this case. Now, that's pretty early to say that, because he said it before the arrest had been made. And, there might be all sorts of factors that weigh in. But possibly being federal, if the U.S. Marshals have him, we'll probably hear something about that here. Oreos took over politics, and we think alike. Yes, Oreos were good. Full confession. Alexis, I was just looking at the Oreos. Thank you. I was just reading them off. Those 4, I've seen some of them. I've seen the birthday cake. Haven't seen the toffee. Haven't seen the chocolate. I've seen the dark chocolate. Haven't seen the Java chip. So 3 out of 5 were new to me. Let's see. Just noticed the glasses. I'm having Oreos for breakfast. That was my confession. My confession is this. I put like 8 Oreos in a bowl and poured milk on them and ate them for breakfast this morning. I did. And they were good. They were good. I won't tell you which ones. Strawberry ones are good too. That's good. You ordered the Selena Gomez ones? Where did you find them? I need to find the Selena Gomez ones. Katrina, buddy, it was a law at least 6 years ago, because I carried when I went to school. That's never had to use it, but it's strange because it is normal there, and it's more than just students allowed to carry. Teachers in elementary schools can carry. As a matter of fact, a school district cannot stop a teacher in an elementary school from carrying. It's just a different mindset. So let's see. Most police don't have to use it, from what I hear. You guys are not liking Oreos. I also like the carrot cake Oreos. I've heard of those, have not seen them. Last night, RA pointed out the filling in Oreos tastes like toothpaste, and I concur 100%. Let's see. We've got, let's see. Ask for I just don't think they're going to come back. I don't think there's going to be a notification. Okay, I do have, I think Selena and Camilla, I think I've got you both on the line. Is it good to swap info? Are you good with me swapping info between the two of you? Somebody just said, is anyone else having problems getting into chat? I would not know because I've only seen the people in chat other than this person. Yes, says Camilla and Selena. Okay, so this is Camilla. I'm just gonna screenshot this and send it. And now, where's Selena? Selena, can you send me a quick text? And I'll just reply with the screenshot with Camilla's screen on it, so her number will be at the top. If you can't chat, refresh. That should work. Unpopular. No, Oreos are not gourmet. I will give you that. Okay. If I was given a choice between a nice, a medium rare steak and Oreo, I would take the steak any day. But I was Bunny Hop, turn the internet on and off. Chat is working. I can tell you that. Chat is working. It seems to be functioning fine on my end. You did not like the Reese ones. That's what I wanted to try most of all. Okay, Barb. I thought about this more. The Reese's Oreos that I tried are just too dry. It's like the filling. The Reese's filling is more of a dry and crumbly filling that's held together by the chocolate. And so you take a dry cookie and you add dry filling, and it's just, even soaking it in milk didn't make it enough. It didn't make it right. And it did just taste like peanut butter. But it's not enough chocolate. That's the thing. If you can, peanut butter and chocolate go really well together, but the chocolatey taste of an Oreo cookie is not really chocolatey. And the Reese's filling just wasn't, it didn't hit the spot for me. I probably should have put them number 5 on the list. The ratio needs to be right. Does this make you an Oreo aficionado? I don't know if I could qualify in court as an expert on Oreos, but I have consumed probably more than my share. All right, here we go. There we go. Oh, there we go. I'm going to put this right here. Add that one. There we go. And then I'm going to take this right here. Add this one back. Send it to Camilla. Okay, hopefully you guys can make sense of what I sent you. Yeah. All right, still waiting for everything to begin. Let's see if I can do this a little differently. Let's do super source. Oh, mic check, mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Check 1 2. Check mic check. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
You just need 1 2 1 2.
4 5 6. We're hoping to get at least a 3-minute warning when they start walking, but we haven't got that yet. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Everybody good?
I'm good.
1 2 3 4 5 6. Good.
Okay. All right. Semblance. Used a fork with your cookies. I've never seen anyone do that before. Very interesting. Barb, it's because I like to dip them so long, and the cookie crumbles. the way the cookie crumbles is it makes them hard to hold the outside. And if you're just holding the filling on the inside, you lose the crumble part. So the fork allows the nearly deteriorated cookie on the outside to stay intact while eating. Although I will say, I think they taste better with a plastic fork than with a metal fork, and I don't know why that is. Ree, thank you very much. We do ask everyone just to be respectful here. Is that a selfie stick? That is a Utah Highway Patrol officer, I believe. That hat that he's wearing right there, that flat brim hat, is part of the what's he doing? It's part of the uniform of just the Utah Highway Patrol. To my knowledge, no.
So still no official word on the start time. We will try to give at least a 5-minute warning on that, but we'll do our best on that.
Okay. No official start time. That hat is worn by Highway Patrol, not any police departments or sheriff's departments that I know. Some sheriff's departments have actual Stetsons in Utah, which is really cool. So usually the mounted versions, the mounted police. I'm going to need a 6-minute warning, says JT. What is this we're watching? There's a press conference for the arrest of the shooter in the Charlie Kirk shooting. He turned himself in. His dad drove him to the police station. It did happen in southern Utah. We're looking for it right now. I'm trying to go through a couple counties to see if we can find some of the charges. If he is booked in one of the jails, it's possible he was booked and then turned over to the marshals, because it would probably take some time and they wouldn't just hold him in a holding cell. So we hear that a minister of some sort, a religious minister, was involved in getting him to surrender. Okay. Just trying to psychoanalyze some of the pictures that are out of the apparent shooter. Things that are in the background of the room. Looks like a dorm room or school room from what I can see. If this is the guy, wearing Converse shoes, Sprite bottle on the desk, Amazon package under the bed, and what looks to be like the backpack, the black backpack, also on the floor. So, if that's the guy, but we'll see. We're not outing anybody here in chat. We're waiting for a police notification on that. We're not trying to break any news here, so don't put the name in chat, please. Odds are we're right, but I'm not from this area of Utah, although I used to work in southern Utah. I used to sell metal buildings, metal roof and wall systems for a company called MBCI, and my sales territory included everything from Salt Lake City south to Nevada, so covered Las Vegas, and then over into Colorado, up to the western slope of Colorado. So all of southern Utah was my sales territory. So I drove this area a lot, down to Moab, down to the Four Corners area. We actually had a lot of builders down in the Four Corners area that used our services. St. George was big, more for the residential stuff than the commercial, but lots of that. Dad will get the $100,000 award. It might be 1.1. It might be 1.1 million. There are some people who came forward who added to that. I think it actually went up by another 50,000, so it might be $1,150,000. And I'll tell you right now, as long as his dad wasn't, complicit in this, I am 100% okay with it going to his dad. That the dad did the right thing very quickly, and if he's not involved at all, it would be he did the same thing we would ask anyone else to do and give them the reward. So it's not gonna, he's gonna go through a lot, especially if he had nothing to do with it. So, all right, if the dad gets the reward, will he use it to help with guy defense? I don't care if he uses it to gamble or do whatever he wants. If he earns the reward, then he gets to spend it however he sees fit. Mrs. R.A. is from Idaho, Wyoming and Idaho. Just trying to check some social medias to see if there's anything out there. I will say that okay, let's see. The name of the shooter, if what they're reporting is correct, the name of the shooter is a very common name. Okay. Think like John Doe, okay, but not so generic. And unfortunately, a lot of people are very angry, and it's not appropriate to try to reach out and to the family, to him himself through social media or anything else to express your hate. Odds are you're going to reach out to the wrong person. Odds are you're going to probably say something not nice, and the chance of you committing a crime in and of itself when doing that is very high, and those do get prosecuted. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Let the police handle this. News will do some digging, and if it's vetted, it will come to light. So, but should have a few minutes. We're just waiting here on the press conference to begin, so we should have at least 5 minutes before it starts. Yeah, he's not going to check any messages anytime soon, and his family probably won't either. So, yep. Rewards are typically for arrest or conviction, but in this case, it's likely the dad would be perfectly fine with the wait and hasn't done it for the reward. Yeah, this was not for the money situation. The dad might not even know that there's a reward out. Tasha Trufala says, one reason I prefer unique names. No confusion. There's just one of me. Let's see. We are going to be going to some court hopping today. We're not following this all day long, just for those who are curious. We just want to hear. I'm interested in the investigative portion, how they found him. Obviously, tips were very important. They got thousands of tips. Video cameras, surveillance was very important. That area of Orem Provo area, is very well developed. It is, I would say, fairly affluent. Lots of prosperous businesses and homes in the area, so the presence of cameras is prevalent there. So either security cameras and traffic cameras, everything else. And Haas, thank you very much. I like it as well. I imagine there will be much more video coming out. You think of Brian Koberger, right, up in Idaho when he was getting caught and they were narrowing down to the white Hyundai and all the sources they were able to get. It's very similar to that in this area. It's not like we're in the middle of nowhere. This is not just Nowhereville, Western Town, USA. Very well developed. Lots of security options. Lots of tips that probably haven't even had time to be fleshed out yet. I think I caught his car on video. I got him here. I saw him here. I watched this here. Just there'll be a lot more that comes out, as there has been so far. I think what happened, there were a number of people who were taken into custody or at least detained immediately after the shooting. And I think, I know one of them, one of the names that they presented is how do I say this politely? It's someone who likes to be involved with the police for his financial gain. Does that make sense? Likes to cause problems and stirs and commotion so that the police do something and the police cross the line, and then he can prosper financially from the situation. One of them was that, and it's a well-known figure in the area for doing that. So it's I would say of the same sort of. It might appear to some people to be very similar to somebody who's a First Amendment auditor, but this is different. This is a little more. This is more of an agitator that way. Okay, here we go. 5-minute warning.
Check 1, 2, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9, 10, 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'll tweak this audio a little bit on my end while he's doing that. Let's go ahead and bring it in stereo. That hat has holes in it. Are those like ventilation holes? Looks like ventilation holes, but I'm covering the hat. You can't see it. It's down there. Someone teach this lad what a mic check sounds like. Old dog, new tricks. Some of us just don't learn. Let's see. Appreciate everyone being respectful here. I realize we've got people on all different perspectives politically, and different life experiences and everything else. We come here to learn from each other, and I'd ask that if you have some strong feelings and strong words to say today, either about the shooter or about the events or Charlie, the victim, or his family or anything else, keep everything very, very respectful. We're gonna come down with like a ton of bricks on comments that try to stir the pot a little bit. We don't do that here. We do want to follow the news, but we are trying to keep this pickles, not politics. And once this is over, we're going to jump to some court watching, so the mods don't all quit on me. Britt Bottoms gifted a membership. Thank you, Britt, for your generosity today. I think we've got some other messages I need to recognize that I haven't yet. Kelly H. came in with a super sticker. Kelly H., thank you this morning. Cindy, enjoy the moment, says, yay, today's my birthday. Can't think of a better way to spend it than with a drum roll. My favorite chatters. And, of course, all right, love you all. Cindy, happy birthday. Happy we got to sing to you this morning. Great to have you here today. Let's see. I rescue dogs. This is true. I think there's sorry. Is this the comment? Let's see. Let's see. A lot of strong feelings, but YouTube chat doesn't really allow for a forum for actual dialogue to take place. I agree. I wish it was better, because honestly, there's obviously the side that I don't hold is one I don't understand very well. Okay. Obviously, we all look at ourselves, and in our heads, we're right about everything we think about, right? That's how I view myself. I have the right opinion about everything. It's wrong. I'm often mistaken. But I benefit from hearing from opposing views. It doesn't necessarily change my mind. Sometimes it does. But if nothing else, it makes me a smarter person and more compassionate to the other side, so I can understand where they're coming from. YouTube is just a tough format to have that level of discussion, with listening and then the exchange, text without being able to convey emotion and feeling and stuff across. It's tough. It's tough. I wish it was better. I wish it was a format where we could do that, because we would in a heartbeat if it was productive like that. I recognize that there, Alicia, I saw your comment and read. I'm not saying you're wrong for deleting it. Sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I've asked the mods to delete everything that even broaches this. So thank you for doing that. They're doing exactly the right thing. And I messed up there. We are asking all those comments to be deleted that might try to get to the next level. I understand that people feel like they want to say something on both sides. Okay, both sides want to say something, and this just isn't the format. We're only watching this for the investigatory, like Red Pen said, only watching for the investigation side of this, not for anything else. Second here. Is the guy taking pictures of the flags? He is. A lot of these photographers work for newspapers and or are pool photographer type, where they sell their pictures to different sources. The new Utah flag is, it probably looks the closest to, what is it, Colorado's? The beehive has always been an important image for the state of Utah. Here we go. We've got people coming in now. 5 minute. You have to turn it on. Green light means on. Red is off. Oh, no. Right, red is
off. Testing, testing. Hi, everyone. We are 4 minutes out from starting the press conference. Thank you.
4 minutes. The beehive is important. It's a symbol of what they call it, the symbol of industry, right? Of work. It's a key element in the in Utah, where it is a right to work state. It's interesting. But they kept that. That was an element that was on the other flag as well, the old one. And there's the eagle and everything else that they removed. It was just different. Beehives, if you're familiar with beehives, the way a beehive works, there's not one bee that makes everything happen, right? There's a queen bee, obviously. There's a leader. But it's all the other bees doing their little part that makes the community or the hive prosper, makes it grow. And so that symbol has been part of Utah for a long, long time. I've seen the Bee movie, Petrified. I know how it works. Disney taught me this well. I appreciate you guys honoring my request to keep the narrative about the investigation and not anything further. Thank you. And I appreciate the mods also for indulging me in some of the hardest work that I've ever dumped on them with no notice. So kind of like here, Ari is the queen bee. All right. I will say this. I know I'm not perfect in how I'm doing this, like how I'm handling this right now. I know I'm doing it wrong, and there are people who probably have better ideas or good ideas that I should have listened to. And one of those ideas might be not to do it. But let me tell you this: if you disagree with what I'm doing, talk to me about it. Okay. For one thing, I am willing to listen. I do have a burner phone for a reason. I can't answer all the calls, and I won't do those ones on air, obviously. But I do answer the calls. I would like to hear your side, and maybe explain my side if you're willing to discuss that a little bit. And it might make future situations better. It might help me make a situation in the future better. So. If you are upset with what I'm doing, do reach out to me. I do want to. I'm very, very willing to talk to you, and it'll be completely confidential. So, Hilda B gifted a membership. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Emily, I agree. I don't think violence is the answer. I personally have not learned much from anyone I've ever tried to attack physically. And that means that I'm the lesser for it. But I have, this is probably too much information. I used to not be this way. Okay, like what you see here with me now. There was a time in my life where if there was a political turmoil, I was in the middle of it. I was shouting. I was yelling. I was, calling for blood. I did some deep introspection and didn't like that part of me. I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like that part of me, and changed. It didn't mean I changed like all my political switch. I reversed image and switched to different sides and on everything. I didn't, but I changed me just because it wasn't good for me, and I sort of forced myself to stop and listen instead of yell and talk, and in doing that, I found that the people who I was so eager to vilify, who I was so mad at, were actually a lot like me, and they held strong opinions, and they held them because they believed them. They're not like shouting something just to get me mad. They're good people, and we have common interests and hobbies. And, had politics not come up between us, we probably would have gone out fishing or, hiking or something together, and never have known that there was a big difference between us. And so I just decided then that I wanted to first get to know people on that level and be their friend. And then, if it was right, we could have a respectful conversation about, an issue that we might not agree with, knowing that that foundation was there, and that there was a level of respect from me to them, in them having that opinion. So that's cool. I'm not good at it. I mean, I wish I could say that I'm like the poster child for doing this right. I'm not, and I'm learning on my own and very slowly. But I do, when I look at myself, I do feel better about, I can sleep better at night, not thinking, oh man, I was really rude to that person, or I really cut them off. I just, it makes, for me, it works. And I realize it might not be the answer for everybody. I'm not saying it has to be. But that's just a little behind the scenes as to why I am what I am right now. But All right, my son's practicing the piano. He plays beautifully, but I'm going to have him close the door. Hang on. Thanks, bud. Sunshine Sarah, just this morning, really quickly, we're going to watch the press conference, which will start in about a minute. This is out of Utah. Probably, I think we're in Utah County, possibly Salt Lake County. But this is a press conference announcing the arrest of the shooter in the incident where Charlie Kirk was murdered. We're watching this to understand some of the investigatory process that went down here, how this happened, to find out officially who the defendant is. Utah is a death penalty state, and that's already been brought up, that the state at least would like to pursue this charge with the death penalty in mind, and they've already started the preparations to do that even before they had made the arrest, which seems a bit early. And Elf, thank you very much. I don't have common sense, and I'm trying to gain it. That's my goal. So it's the only way I know how. Let's see. Yeah. I realize there are lots of comments out there. I'm asking the mods to delete all of them. And thank you, mods, for doing that. If your comment got deleted, please don't be offended. This is at my instruction only because I don't know how to handle this. Oh, that's Ben. Is that Ben Winslow? No. I used to work with some of these reporters. So it's fun to see people from my old job, Fox 13, way back in the day. Okay. Still coming out. We're going to bring the audio up as soon as they come out. So opinions, let me just tell you this. If your comment was deleted, please don't feel bad. I just ask that it not be shared here right now because I don't know how to do it. Comments are I can see which ones are deleted. They're being deleted on what you might call both sides, all sides of this issue. There's a line we've asked the mods to draw, and we are at UVU. Okay, so we are at the campus. You can see the logo in the corner of the presentation screen. So this is not one side being silenced. We're asking the discussion to strictly stick to the investigatory elements of this case. With the exception of, like rest in peace, and that's about it. So if you have a big issue with how I'm doing this, I understand you might, and that's legitimate. I will be the first person to literally bend over backwards to help you to figure out how you can share your voice on a channel like this. I would love to help you set up a YouTube channel that, even if it's completely opposite, even if it's, the whole purpose is just to say I'm doing it wrong. I say that, and that's not just words. When I was going to school, I had a friend, still have a friend, that could not be more different than me politically. In any, like on any issue, our ballots would cancel each other out on every single issue. And we'd love to have discussions, and he enjoyed debate, and I did as well. And we'd, while we're writing the news and stuff for the next day, we would, talk about issues like that. And I found out that he had never voted. And I did all the research and got him all the paperwork to register him to vote, even though I know that his vote would count against me. There's the governor right there in the suit.
At today's press conference, we will hear from Governor Cox,
that's the governor,
FBI Director Kash Patel, and Sheriff Mike Smith. We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bo Mason,
Department of Public Safety,
Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, and local and federal law enforcement partners. Following the remarks today, Governor Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions. Thank you.
This is Spencer Cox. He was the Lieutenant Governor under Governor Herbert, and then sort of took over when Herbert resigned. There's a cowboy hat. I told you we have cowboy hats on our cops.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who's worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
To President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House, who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play. We will play that role, and we will lead after the federal government. Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilized these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m. where, at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly, and I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake Field Office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation.
This is Utah County Sheriff.
As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation. You're looking at people standing up here who are running on, if they got an hour's sleep in the last couple of days, they're probably lucky. It has been very taxing. It has been so impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the cooperation that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal. Our Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, who's standing up here with us, has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community, because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support, and you gave it to us. We needed your patience, and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family, because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this. So thank you, everybody, for everybody that has stepped up. We've had such a phenomenal response to this. Thank you.
I do I do agree with the police officers being praised for their work,
I
because
also want to give a special thanks
without their
to
rapid
the
work,
Attorney General and the Department of Justice. Their unwavering support and
this
their
wouldn't have been public.
commitment to justice is shown true here. And without AG Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the resources they brought to bear, we would not have been able to complete our mission. And I just want to say special thanks. It's an honor to be a part of the Department of Justice.
He forgot to thank his bosses.
Thank you again to our incredible law enforcement team who has worked so hard. Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so I hope you'll permit me a moment just to share a few more thoughts about where we are and how we got here, and maybe a little bit of where we go from here. I don't want to get too preachy, but I think it's important that we, with eyes wide open, understand what's happening in our country today. I've heard people say, well, why are we so invested in this? There's violence happening all across our country, and violence is tragic everywhere, and every life taken is a child of God who deserves our love and respect and dignity. A few months ago, I referenced this last night, Charlie posted to social media, when things are moving very fast and people are losing their minds, it's important to stay grounded. Turn off your phone, read scripture, spend time with friends, and remember, internet fury is not real life. It's going to be okay. He again said, when you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to commit violence. He said, what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable agreement, where violence is not an option. All of us have an opportunity right now to do something different. I want to thank my fellow Utahns. This bad stuff happens, and for 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us, that somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here. And it was one of us. But I want you to look at how Utahns reacted the last 2 nights. There was no rioting. There was no looting. There were no cars set on fire. There was no violence. There were vigils and prayers and people coming together to share the humanity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is the answer to this. We can return violence with violence. We can return hate with hate. And that's the problem with political violence, is it metastasizes. Because we can always point the finger at the other side. And at some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse. But see, these are choices that we can make. I'll just conclude with words I share often from a friend and author, Yuval Levin, who was asked if he was optimistic about our country. And he said, I'm not optimistic. He said, I hate optimism. God, that sounds bad. But he said, optimism is a vice. It's this idea that good things are just going to happen. He said, in the history of the world, good things have never just happened. He says, I'm not optimistic, but I am hopeful. And hope is the virtue that sits between the vices of optimism and pessimism. Hope is the idea that good things are going to happen because we can make them so. I still believe in our country. And I know Charlie Kirk believed in our country. I still believe that there is more good among us than evil. And I still believe that we can change the course of history. I'm hopeful because Americans can make it so. Ladies and gentlemen, we're happy to answer any questions you have.
Governor, can you please speak to whether the suspect is speaking with authorities and his demeanor
is he cooperating
when he turned himself in?
I cannot speak to that.
So you talked about this level of hatred that this person expressed at a dinner. Beyond that, is there anything in your view that you've discovered that may have radicalized or changed him to prompt him to commit such a horrific act?
There's nothing more. If you don't know where Washington County is, it is the southernmost, southwesternmost part of the state of Utah. It's about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive from here, where we are right now, and that's where he lived and where they turned him.
That's where Ruby Frankie lives.
I can't share any more than what I've already shared.
Is he talking about authorities? Do you have details on how he got back to Washington County and how the gun was obtained?
How we obtained the gun? The gun was found.
No, how the shooter obtained the gun and how the shooter then was able to get back to Washington.
So I don't have much more details on that. We do know that he drove. We had his car here on campus, and then we had his car going south back to the St. George. It's actually the city of Washington in Washington County.
Is he talking with authorities and did he discuss a motive?
I'm sorry?
Did the suspect plan to carry out any other attacks?
We don't have any information that will
Are you going to be releasing the mugshot?
Yes. In fact, it was just released.
Is he talking with authorities and did he discuss a motive?
That through some process, the family came to know that this. Just say process-wise, this may be important. I know many of you aren't familiar with the process in Utah. I think it's important that you understand that. Basically, we have 3 days for charging documents to be filed. A CI will be filed. We'll have more information then, more detailed information as those charging documents are filed in preparation for a preliminary hearing. So 3 days. So we would anticipate then that early next week those charging documents will be filed. We will obviously be working, the county attorney will be working very closely with Mr. Kirk's family as those documents and decisions are prepared and made. Thanks, everyone.
Wow. All right, we're gonna leave that. That got more into politics than I hoped it would, but for the investigative portion of that was great. Mods, thank you. I owe you. We're going to leave the Charlie Kirk investigation part. Red Pen's like, oof. We're going to leave that now and return back to court hopping, which we're going to do. That was our plan all along before this was announced. Investigation-wise, I do think that it was appropriate for the police to take some credit. Sometimes we see, people get up and pat themselves on the back, and what's the joke that one arm's longer than the other because you're so busy patting yourself on the back. But I was comparing this just to Koberger's case. That murder, the information, the rapid release of information, the rapid collection of information, the immediate call for public input, and then the release of imagery, and that I think the police do deserve credit for, because it was heavy, fast groundwork that got those images out and got them to the people, and it was because those images got out that it basically spread the way it did. Now I don't know if that resulted in the family hearing or talking about it, and then hearing their son claiming for it. But I will say the police worked with the public in a manner we haven't seen a lot anywhere, with how fast they did release information. And instead of just, with Brian Koberger's, it's like we're holding all the cards. Okay? We don't want anyone else to see what we know. Right? We've got these little bits of information, and we're pretending like we're playing Go Fish, and we don't want to see. Don't look at what I'm holding. Here it seemed more that the public was in on the investigation, and aware of where the investigation was at, even to the point where there was faulty information released from the FBI director. I retweeted 2 of his tweets. We got him. He's in custody. Wait, never mind. We released him. The wrong guy. You know, we were that close that it was like that. But anyway, this mugshot has been released. I'm looking at it right here. It's right there. But we'll get more from that. He's in Utah County Jail. Utah County Jail does not update their roster very quickly. But if you look at the jail roster there, and when they do update for yesterday, it'll be on there. So, yeah. All right, we are going to Judge Simpson's court, which let's see what he has to say today.
$700. No, I got you. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, usually these attorneys are here, and so I'm giving them some latitude. Can we call their office?
Sure can.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to stand in recess a bit, and then I'll come right back. You're all I've got left, but I don't know where the other side is. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
As Judge Simpson wraps up just for a minute, Mrs. R.A. came in, and I just remembered that the last time I voted for a governor in Utah, I voted against the guy who just spoke. He was not my guy. But I think he said the right thing today, as far as making a choice going forward. Let's see. McBurney's doing some test sessions here. Look at this.
Podium? Yes. I will not report it. Okay, so I'm removing podium, and that's going to.
They're testing their equipment there, which is fun. Sloth Life says, Donna Ashworth, watch your words. They can break down walls and build bridges, but they can just as easily break a beautiful spirit. That's a beautiful thought. Is the buffer not working? I had turned it off. I'm sorry. It's on now. Josh, do you have something for us? Sent something in mod chat. Spicy to watch. It happened earlier in Judge Simpson's court. I like it already, Josh. You had me at Judge Simpson. Let's see. Where is Simpson? Happened here. Let me check mod chat.
In front of the Walmart.
Okay. You said Judge Simmons? Judge Simmons, not Simpson. Okay. Thank you. Judge Simmons is a little different. That's this one over here. I skipped her earlier. Go back to the case with the defendant on the left-hand side. It got spicy, and she got... I'm not going to spoil it, what happens here. But defendant on the left-hand side, where's the picture? Okay. How long ago was this? Defendant on the left-hand side. Josh, is there like a picture or something that I could look for here? Oh, here we go. This guy? This guy right here?
On 9/8/2025.
Don't think that's him. Do you have like a timestamp or something, or how many minutes ago it was, Josh? I want to find it, but she's been going for 2 hours here. Are you replying in chat? Because I'm not looking there. Sorry. Do you discuss current affairs with the kids? Yeah, we do. At their level. My youngest is, barely turning double digits, so not an appropriate level. Josh, do you have a timestamp? Did Josh leave us? What kind of questions they asked? Where do babies come from? The same thing all kids ask. Don't think it's advisable to discuss your affairs with your kids. Greeners, thank you for that. We're paging Josh. I think he's off looking for more stuff is what he's doing right now. So, Barb, we don't get into politics here on the channel. That's our goal, is not to. I realize that the press conference today strayed into that area. But probably the best way to answer that is probably look at some of my wife's videos on Homeschool Ground Zero, where we talk about some of those questions and answer sessions we have with the kids. But a lot of what we feel when we talk with our kids is if they're old enough to articulate the question, they're probably old enough to hear the answer, even if it's a simplified version. And so we tend to give them the answer. I mean, they ask about everything. My kids are asking questions every single day. So Josh is having some YouTube issues. Okay. Looking for the defendant on the left moment. Not seeing it. All right, we'll keep watching. If Josh is able to get us a better timestamp on that one, we'll jump back to it. Let's see. We have a couple courts we haven't been to in a little bit. 44th District. Anybody? This is a fun one. This the lawyer.
Okay. Having heard all this, Mr. Steinberg, what do you have to say about bond and bond conditions?
As I said, it appears she's off of probation right now. And
currently she is, yes.
And and as I continue to say, this ticket is she's YTA eligible, and this ticket is unlikely to be as charged when I get it to pretrial.
Okay. But I'm not asking for the outcome of the case. I'm asking you to address bond and bond conditions, please.
There's no allegations other than that she may have relieved herself in public,
Okay.
And that, that could be on a medical condition. That can be on a lot of things.
Right.
I mean,
so therefore, I don't want to get into adjudicating the case. I would like you to tell me what bond you believe is appropriate.
I asked you for personal bond, and I don't believe any conditions are necessary at this time. It's not alleged. Miss Pierce, please let me speak for you.
Sorry.
It's not alleged that there is any, alcohol involved or anything of that nature. Therefore, not requiring any conditions other than appearing at the next court date as you've already instructed her, and moving forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The court is setting the following conditions. The court is setting $1,000 cash surety. Okay,
let me mute this. Georgina, there are many that I don't cover live. We generally don't cover a lot of live breaking news. I have to tell you that the situation with Charlie Kirk, I was inclined to cover mostly because of my familiarity with the exact location where it took place, my connection to that, the fact that I've got family members there, that I have worked closely with law enforcement in Utah County, in Davis County, in Salt Lake County. So it basically just struck close to home. So I had a lot of connections with information coming out of there. So it was easier to find information and be able to find trustworthy information on things like that. A lot of times when there's breaking news in a part of the country I'm not familiar with, I just don't know where to go to get good information that's at a time when it's pertinent, at a time when it's important. It's not that the incident itself doesn't matter or matters less or matters more. I also didn't cover the stabbing in North Carolina, here in my own state, here in Charlotte. But that's one that I chose not to cover, even though everyone was talking about it. I tried to do it in a way where I think that there's important information to garner, and and where I feel I'm capable of doing it. That's the only reason. Let's see.
Pierce for her arraignment.
No, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Pierce, you have any further questions or anything you need clarified or repeated?
Well, no, but I did want to say I am schizophrenic and I do have bipolar disorder and depression. And I don't have a job. I don't have money, you know.
You don't have a job or you do have a job?
I don't have a job. I don't have any.
Okay.
Because I have seizures too. I'm epileptic.
Dealing with
okay
as well.
Are you on disability?
We're trying to do that.
Okay, so you currently do have no source of income?
No.
Okay. How do you pay your fines and costs out of your probation in the Oakland County Circuit Court case?
I didn't.
Okay. Well, the bond is going to stand because my review of the file shows me that you were on some kind of status when this new incident occurred. I'm giving you grace and courtesy and time so that you have time to post the bond by the date of the pretrial. Your attorney is welcome to make a motion before the trial judge at the pretrial to amend the bond conditions if the attorney feels that that is appropriate in your case, but my bond stands.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Anything further, Mr. Steinberg?
Nope. Thank
Any
you.
corrections or additions you'd like to make to the record, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. This concludes the arraignment, and Ms. Pierce, you may leave the Zoom.
Okay, thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Okay.
Apparently another public urination situation in that one. Not good, not good. Sometimes when you need to go, you got to go. Let's see. I'm trying to find the one Josh is telling me about. He says the one where the defendant is on the left. This is the only part I can see where the defendant is on the left, right here.
I think we have to wait 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's still early. I was just kind of going through. Here you go. Here's Ms. Pierce. Okay, so you can mute yourself, Mr. Steinberg, or I'll let you know if anyone appears.
I've been given that advice several times. You can mute yourself. Sometimes it's well deserved. Legal Blonde, could we watch Michael Proctor's previous administration hearings? We watched some of them. We watched a little bit.
Malcolm, have a cigarette? Thank you.
So, Josh, the live stream ended 4 minutes ago. It's only an hour and 48 minutes long. Are you saying go back to the beginning? Never been caught doing a pee in public. It's harder hiding as a girl. Right.
Mr. Steinberg, I received word from one of my clerks
Starting 9 minutes. Okay. Let's see.
Claudine Pipitone.
We're going to go back to 9 minutes right here.
The 1031 is in custody.
Thank you, Josh, for that. I appreciate that.
So I don't believe, is it a man or a woman?
Oh, you guys aren't seeing it. I'm watching on another. You guys, I apologize.
I don't believe.
I was watching on channel 8 and you guys were watching a different channel. I'm terrible at this. Send someone with more experience for sure. It should look like this for you guys. That changes everything. Okay, channel 2 at 9 minutes, which is right about here. 8:52.
Topics today. Let's see. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jemiah Myers, 25-02663. Appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Cassidy Kachukas for the people.
Jeffrey Rawson on behalf of Jemiah, who's standing here to my right.
Let me move out of the way so you
Okay,
can see
Ms.
him.
Myers has a probable cause conference today for a police officer assault and battery. You keep an eye on this warranty.
Yes.
And then there is notice of a violation of bond conditions. It says the defendant was to make reports to a court agency as specified by this court, and the defendant was to participate in a substance abuse testing or monitoring, urinalysis testing 1 time per week, and report to pretrial services within 48 hours. It says on September 4th, 2025, the defendant was placed on GPS tether and released from Ingham County Jail. On September 11th, the reporting investigator called the defendant on the number that she provided to the court. She did not answer, and a voicemail was left requesting a callback. At the time of the writing of this report, which was this morning, the defendant has failed to enroll in pretrial service supervision. The defendant is not currently participating in substance abuse testing or monitoring under pretrial service supervision.
So
How
no
are you proceeding
compliance.
on the underlying matter?
Your Honor, the people have begun negotiations with the defense regarding this and a global with another case. However, we cannot formally place an offer on the record at this time because it will not comply with the CPRA, as I have not had an opportunity to consult with the victim. But I understand that the defense has only just been put on this matter, so it was my understanding that the defense may be requesting an adjournment of the PCC at this time.
Adjournment of the PCC.
Hey, Shane, welcome.
Is that what you want?
Yes, I've had this case for exactly 48 hours. First time I've had to even meet with my client. Last for an adjournment. We are in discussion. Getting this case rectified.
You would like to treat next week as another PCC?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why hasn't your client complied with the bond conditions?
Your Honor, this is the very first time I'm hearing about this. I would have discussed this with her, but I knew nothing about any violation of bond. So I can either talk to her or maybe she can explain.
Why did you comply with the bond conditions?
So the paper said where I was gonna go. I was get tested.
You're supposed to report to pretrial services within 48 hours.
I didn't have a phone. My phone was smashed during the incident. So I didn't have a phone. And when I know a place where I can go to get tested, and they wouldn't let me because they said I needed an order.
Why did you report to pretrial services? I'm not talking about your phone. Your phone being smashed has nothing to do with your requirement to report to pretrial services.
And I'm sorry, what was that?
Why did you not report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release? You were released from custody on September 4th. Today is the 12th. You were supposed to report within 48 hours.
Yeah, it was just a very misunderstanding. I would have reported.
What did you misunderstand?
What I was supposed to report. Because I had the tether on.
There was no misunderstanding. You were supposed to report within 48 hours. That's very clear.
No, I was very confused.
You might have been confused, but it had nothing to do with what the court indicated. You just gave me 2 reasons so far as to why you didn't do it. First, it was because your phone was smashed, which indicates you had a clear understanding that you were supposed to report, but you wanted to use the excuse that your phone was in disrepair as to why you didn't do it. When the court told you that that was not sufficient, now you're confused. You're not going to be confused about this. Remand her into custody. Your bond is revoked.
Wow. Now we understand each other.
I ordered you to test 1 time per week. I ordered you to report to pretrial services. You're not doing either.
Can I ask you a question? Where am I going?
To jail.
I know, but which?
Ingham County.
Okay. Can I have my grandma or my mom get my because I owe her money. Can she get my property?
Are they here today?
No.
I don't know. You can have whoever come get your property. That's nothing to do with me. That you're going to be remanded right now. You don't have any control over your property. If they want to come up to the jail and the jail wants to release it, that's up to them.
Okay. You can't get my bag.
So she has another warrant.
Oh, sorry.
City of Lansing versus Jemiah Myers 3-02-03234. This is a collection show cause that you failed to appear for in July.
What was that?
You owe $390 on a City of Lansing case. That was before Judge Flores.
It was a payment plan.
You must not have been compliant.
No, actually, you told me to go to collections, I believe.
You must not have been compliant.
It was collections.
This is a 2023 case. Do you know what year we're in?
2025.
Correct. It says January 23rd, 2024. Defendant pled guilty to count 1. And they dismissed count 2. You were given fines. Total fine, $325. They set it for a show cause, April 10th, 2024, to see how and why you had not made payment. You failed to appear. You appeared in court later and spoke to the magistrate. She gave you an extension till May 28th, 2024 to make payment. And then you failed to do that. And then it looks like there was a bench warrant issued, but later that bench warrant was quashed on September 10th because you appeared via Zoom and you said you would pay in full. You talked to Judge Ward then. You would pay in full by September 16th, 2024. September 19th had come and gone. No payment received. Here we are, May 19th, 2025. It was scheduled for an arraignment at 3 p.m. Your balance now is up to $390 because you're incurring late fees. May 27th, you failed to appear for the arraignment that was scheduled at 3 p.m. A warrant was issued. Then it looks like the warrant was quashed because you saw Judge Flores and he referred you to collections. You must have either gone to collections and made a payment plan and didn't comply, or failed to go to collections because there was a collections show cause scheduled for the 4th of September at 9 a.m. and you did not appear, which makes sense because you probably would, because no, you got released on the 4th. When are you paying this? You've been lingering on this for 2 years. When are you paying it?
Your Honor, I was like in the middle of jobs, and I was also in rehab.
Okay, where are you going to pay it though? Because you keep giving the court different dates that you're going to make a payment, and then you're not doing it. So this keeps cycling into the warrant status. When are you going to make a payment?
When I'm out of custody.
As soon as you let me go. Okay, that's not going to work.
The bond on that was $50 cash. You're going to pay $50 to get out on that one, and then you need to report to collections on a payment plan. As it relates to this matter, we'll address your bond after your next court date, since you can't seem to comply with the bond conditions.
Can I ask you a question?
You absolutely can.
I have a court date on Monday for my children. Am I going to be able to go to that?
You have a court date at the circuit court on Monday? Okay, we can send word over there that you've been remanded so that they can write you over.
I'm sorry, what was that?
We will send notice to the circuit court that you are in custody so that you can be written over for you. Okay?
Okay.
You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Man. Got to comply with the bond conditions. Got to comply. Francis Fitzgerald, thank you very much.
Can I have this release, Sweezy?
Let's see here just 1 second. We're going to try to get everything back to where it belongs on the screen because my OCD is just like that. Why is it not working? Because I'm using the wrong remote. That's why. Figured it out. Got it. All right. Landlord-tenant. We're trying to skip landlord-tenant, and that's what Judge Middleton is doing today. Here's one we haven't been to in a while. Wasn't this?
Okay.
It's a translator situation. Didn't we watch court here? Was this the ice fishing court? No.
You ask him if the girls though.
But nice.
There's a hearing or something about to begin here. Translator moved in to whisper in his ear.
All right, we're about to go on the record. Are counsel ready to proceed? Ms. Luncheon?
Your Honor.
Ms. Redlin? Okay.
Judge.
All right, and so I'll do it. Ready? We're on the record now with 25 SC 004101, State versus Mayber Lopez. And the defendant is present here in court, along with his counsel, Ms. Luncheon, and he is here assisted by an interpreter. So I believe, ma'am, I need to swear you in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will faithfully interpret from Spanish into English and from English into Spanish the proceedings before this court in an accurate manner to the best of your skill and knowledge?
I do.
Thank you. And also, if you could state your name for the record.
Maria Alvarez, that's A-L-V as in Victor, A-R-E-Z.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. So defendant and his counsel are present. State is here today through Ms. Rutland, and counsel has filed a motion for bond. And so, Ms. Luncheon, floor is yours.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you like me to come to the lectern or does it?
Wherever you're more comfortable.
Thanks, Judge. How I'd like to structure my presentation is just taking each of the IAL factors in turn. I'll start with flight risk. Here, Mr. Lopez, his home is in Roswell, Georgia. He recently had a child here in Roswell, Georgia. That child turned 1 year old yesterday. He has no criminal record, no history of failing to appear. He has filed a speedy trial demand in this case.
Spanish ASMR.
He wants to resolve it and not avoid it. This is not someone who will flee. Moving towards risk of committing another felony. The state might suggest that he is a risk to reoffend if released. This is his first arrest. Never been accused of violence before. There's no pattern of criminal behavior.
Don't know what the charge is.
We have this isolated incident. Even in this case,
might be a good bond.
The state's own narrative demonstrates that he did not cause the most serious injury alleged here. Now, this is important because if there's a question as to whether the defendant is too dangerous to be released, but the evidence here shows that in this case, the victim ran from the front door, ran through the front door, and jumped over a balcony. At which case, and I understand the state has a different perspective on this, she would have sustained some sort of injury. She didn't land on her feet. She would have hit the ground and she passed out. There is no dispute, and there's no question. My client did not push her from that balcony. He didn't chase her. He didn't block the door. He didn't prevent her from leaving here, from leaving the home. So in this case, the battery being elevated to an aggravated battery, which the legislature, I'm sure, had good reason to have to increase the charges when it's aggravated, don't exist here. He is not predisposed to aggravated battery or violent behavior or repeat violence.
I know, it sounds like there was something
in addition,
to cause this.
There's been no attempt to contact the victim in this case. I haven't talked to her. Nobody in my office has talked to her from what I understand. Defendant hasn't talked to her. He's been in custody for about 75 days. A no contact order absolutely should and would be in place should he be released. And I have no hesitation the state will move to revoke his bond immediately should he violate that order and fail to comply.
Let me ask you about the conditions you have in mind. Where would he be going to live?
He would return to the apartment at issue here. Now from what we know, because there were other individuals who also lived in that apartment, the young woman does not live there any longer.
What was their relationship status?
They were, I don't know if they were legally married. Sometimes our clients say wife, but they were in a relationship and they also had a child together.
She's the mother of the 1-year-old?
That's right.
And so she's the one with care and custody of that child at this moment?
That's right. She currently has a child.
All right.
And so, of course, we understand, the state might know where she lives. Of course, we're not going to ask them to reveal that on the record with respect to this case. So we understand and respect her privacy. I don't think she still resides in that apartment, though.
Okay. And in establishing community ties, do you have anything to add about his work status?
Yes. He works at a restaurant. It's called Ceviche Taqueria. And that's located in Alpharetta, Georgia, and he resides in Roswell, Georgia.
How long has he lived in Alpharetta and Roswell or Fulton County in general?
He's lived in Roswell for 2 years.
And where was he before that?
Antes de estar ahí en Roswell.
Oh, ahí he estado viviendo en Roswell.
I've been living here in Roswell.
Yeah, I know, but for only 2 years.
Pero antes de eso, pues,
Oh, estaba viviendo en Ohio.
En Ohio.
In Ohio.
Ohio?
Okay.
Are you sure? I'm sorry. We're not supposed to hear this. Are you sure it's Ohio? Hey, Mrs. Ari. Need my phone. They mute the mics. Defense attorney is.
En Columbus y aquí ya voy a cumplir los 2 años en noviembre.
I was a year in Columbus, and then in November it'll be 2 years since I've been there.
Yeah, okay. He says before that he was in Columbus, Ohio.
For how long?
Almost a year.
So what I think he's saying, Judge, is he lived in Ohio for about a year. He came here. Before that, he would have been in his home country.
Antes de eso, estaba en su país.
Ceviche.
Right,
is
in
that
Mexico.
the fish cooked with just like lemon? It's
And
not
so
actually
is,
heated.
is he a lawful citizen at this point?
He is not, Your Honor.
All right.
He's not.
There'll be some
All
implications.
right. What
there.
else, Ms. Legend?
His cases can be difficult, particularly when there's a concern that someone might flee and go to a country they were born in. But in this case, with his child here, with his work here, with his fleeing from Mexico due to the danger and persecution that he faced in Mexico, I know the court has to balance a lot, but in this case, I would say the scale weighs heavily in favor of him not being a flight risk. And what I would ask, and I'm sure the court will put any restrictions that the court so desires, is an ankle monitor.
I've never had ceviche.
Or a high bond to secure his return to court. And lastly, I would just talk about obstruction of justice here. He cooperated with law enforcement, conducted interviews with law enforcement, and that is why the state has talked about a reverse Jackson-Deno motion here. So for those reasons, we are requesting a reasonable bond here, reasonable bond, no higher than $50,000, with any conditions the state or the court deems necessary to ensure his return to court.
Rebecca, 32 months.
All right,
OG.
thank you,
Thank you so much.
Yes. The state would be requesting that this case remain in a no bond status. We do believe the defendant to be a flight risk. It appears he has very limited ties to Georgia, and those ties include the shared home of the victim and his child. And even if she doesn't live there anymore, we're not sure if the apartment is still being leased under their names. So we don't really know where he would be released to.
Do you know where she is?
I don't know where she is, but I don't think she lives in the apartment.
Okay.
We also believe that
really cooked? It's like safe to eat.
in this case, there is particularly high risk of intimidation of witnesses. In this case, Your Honor,
Robotic
it is a
buffer.
domestic dispute, and while he was holding his child, he
Ooh.
punched the victim in the back of the head. He then set the child down, and as she was on the ground, he continued kicking her, punching her until she lost consciousness. At that point, and he did conduct an interview with the police where he admitted to
Should have led
these
with this part.
allegations. He also admitting,
Let's get specific there. What exactly did he admit to?
the police report states
Martha Ivy, thank you. 21 months. OG.
that Maber stated he felt disrespected due to the night's incident and slapped Roberta in the face while holding the juvenile. Maber stated that he then put the juvenile on the floor while Roberta was on the bed, and as a result of the slap, began to maliciously kick Roberta in the face. Maber advised that when Roberta began to lose consciousness, he stopped. He stated that he did use isopropyl alcohol to attempt to wake up Roberta. This is corroborated by the victim, Miss Roberta's statement. She said that he put alcohol underneath her nose and told her, "I am not finished beating you."
Yeah, that's a different.
After his interview, I
No
have
bond.
notes here that he did attempt to visit Miss Roberta in the hospital and put her in fear of telling her story until her father was able to come to the hospital.
So he wasn't arrested at the scene?
No, he wasn't.
And has she expressed any kind of a position on this case?
Yes, she would like that his case remain in a no bond status.
Okay,
and
granted.
that if he was to be released, she wants absolutely no contact with her.
So the state has been in contact with her and she's
Yes.
pressing forward. All right. Anything else, Ms. Rutland?
That is all.
All right, Ms. Lunch, anything you want to respond to there?
Yes, Judge, there were significant translation issues in this case. And I understand that's something we might just have to hash out during a trial. But even in reading the police report, it didn't make sense.
But you've got the video of this by now, right?
That's right.
Okay.
And
so what do you find on the video?
That he did not ever say. And I talked to Ms. Willingham, and she said, well, maybe the confession where he said he kicked her in the face wasn't recorded. The recorded video I have, he vehemently denies ever punching her. He does not say he kicked her in the face. And so that's something we've been going back and forth about. And I've asked the state if they could get somebody to sit down and interpret that video. It's a huge problem because that's the basis for the aggravated battery. And so from our perspective, I think there could be, if there was a slap, of course, a factual basis for a battery in this case, of course. But when you get to the aggravated and the sentences increase, that's the issue.
Judge, if I may add one more thing to, on the point of the victim's injuries, she suffered a right orbital bone fracture, which the hospital attributed to blunt force trauma and not the fall.
She fell 2 stories, Judge, from a balcony. She jumped. So, I mean, I guess we'll have to have a medical expert to talk about that too.
Don't release him.
I can't.
And does he have any
We're gonna bail.
other,
We're gonna bail.
other than the 1-year-old who I think is now being cared for by the alleged victim, does he have any other family here in this area?
Okay, sorry. We're bailing on that one. Sorry, we could have probably done that sooner. Let's see. Landlord, tenant, and Simpson still. It's tough on Fridays. So many, let's see. Wexford and Misaki Circuit Court. We ever been there?
So it didn't even take I'm sorry?
I completed rehab twice.
Well, okay, I got it. I'm not saying you didn't complete it, but I'm telling you here, look, it says right here that you originally had 7411, then you were discharged from it, and then you got jail. And the sentence date was November 13th of 2020, and then you were sentenced on December 7th, 2020. And you had multiple violations in 2021. In fact, you had them also in the midst of this other case, 15 of 18, which was committed while on probation. Now I discard 16 because that was dismissed, and now we're down to 17 and 18. Well, number 17 was another domestic violence for you, and you got a period of jail and you were discharged from that on November 23rd, and it took you 3 months before picking up this case. So what I'm saying here is you've had some periods of time where something seems to be occurring. And when they do,
back up on
you
this
get
one.
a series of cases back to back.
How far back? Let's see.
Prepare today's pre-sentence investigation report. Work. Okay.
We'll see where we're
Significant benefit already violated, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, it's this one.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're adjourned.
Okay, we're gonna try this.
Our next file is for the state of Michigan versus Jennifer Hooker. File number 25-3609FH.
Kind of want to just go on this one.
Jennifer Hooker?
All right.
This is for you.
Yep.
All right. Appearances. Is she in jail? Yeah, no?
No.
Oh, there she is. I'm sorry.
Over here.
All right, appearances.
Thank you, Your Honor. David Hunt on behalf of the people. Morning, Your Honor. Ryan Avis, on behalf of Miss Jennifer Hooker, who's present here today.
Thank you. Also here before the court this morning is Miss Laura Odell. She is agent for the Michigan Department of Corrections who prepared today's pre-sentence investigation report.
We also have a show cause.
And we have a show cause.
Oh.
Let's just go ahead and move to the
show cause
formation report. First thing we need to correct is the sentencing date at the top, as we had to adjourn it from August 15th until today's date. And because she has not been in pretrial confinement since then, there is no further correction to the guideline scoring. All right, Mr. Denham, do you have any amendments, corrections, or objections to make to any of the contents here within the PSI?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have reviewed the report and I have no proposed corrections, additions, or deletions.
All right, Mr. Nichols, how about you, sir?
Same, Your Honor. No changes requested. Thank you.
Allocution, sir.
I did have a chance to hopefully, and I'm not sure if the court really had an opportunity given how busy the docket is. I did receive earlier this morning a correspondence from Miss Carrie Ziegler, Zeigler.
Ziegler.
I have it.
Thank you, Judge.
Yep, no problem. I read.
Yes, so just my client has a couple things. Let me just see if I can do this chronologically.
Sure.
As to the show cause and her failure to drop and or drop dirty, there's no excuses. My client admits all of that, and she specifically instructed me not to make any, really any excuses for that. She is struggling with her substance use, and she acknowledges all that. At this time, she wants the court to know that she has relocated and lives with her sober elderly parents. She's also reconnected with her sister, who works through Northern Staffing in a management capacity, and she's in the process of hopefully assisting Jennifer in becoming employed. We did have a discussion on the fact that using methamphetamine is likely to be a significant detriment to her employment prospects, which brings me to the Catholic Human Services interaction she's had with Ms. Ziegler. And I have another letter that Ms. Ziegler handed to my client that she just handed to me. And I just want to read from that letter just briefly as to hopefully for the court to gather what I look at some level of self-actualization from my client that is perhaps greater than most individuals who stand before the court due to drug use. The goals and objectives addressed from the treatment plan. My client wrote, I want to stop getting in trouble. I want to be able to spend time with my grandchild. I want to stop using and build better relationship. I was finally just able to babysit my grandchild.
Good things, all
and she also indicates that the reason for the visit and desire to become engaged is my use continues to lead me to legal trouble. Even my PO said the only time I really get in trouble is with dope. And then Ms. Ziegler expresses her treatment thoughts, including the fact that the client expressed the need for more support and interest in exploring residential treatment, et cetera, et cetera. She appeared to be motivated and actively participated in planning for continued recovery. And speaking with Ms. Ziegler further this morning, she indicated that she's beginning the basic awareness group next week. This would be this upcoming Monday. And then she also has a scheduled visit next week, Thursday, which I believe would be the 18th, if my math is correct, in person. So, Judge, at this point in time, she's got a significant criminal history that she acknowledges. In discussing with her, she's indicated that the vast majority, including the assaultive domestic violence that is referenced in there, stem from her drug usage and the making of poor choices in life partners and the such. So she stands before you, really frankly ready and willing to take any punishment the court deems appropriate in this case. She was cooperative with law enforcement in the facts giving rise to the conviction. She was cooperative in the PSI process. She was obviously not a good candidate on bond due to her ongoing use. And she's addressing that. The court is obviously aware that this is not a linear process, unfortunately for most, but that's certainly not an excuse. You can't, parade an attorney before the court to say that she self-actualizes and that gives her carte blanche to continue to use over and over again. I would ask for the court to consider all this information. Certainly the court is more than able to follow the recommendation, exceed the recommendation, put any conditions towards a potential probationary sentence in place. In discussing with my client, ultimately, she did not instruct me on making any specific request to the court. She's wishing that the court look at the totality of this and again, whatever the court deems fair and just in balancing rehabilitation with punishment, she will go along with.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. Denhow, I'm sorry. I was doing it the other way today just for changing it and mixing it up, and now I lost track. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. The probation department did want me to indicate that they do believe that Ms. Hooker continues to live at that address on Grateful Street, which does pose a concern. But I did want to speak in Ms. Hooker's behalf. We all know people that are defendants that are struggling with substance abuse, and when faced with being caught with drugs, they fall on their sword. And Ms. Hooker has done that, and I want to give her credit for that. This was a situation where back in April there was a compliance check against a third individual regarding a curfew-related violation, Jack Parks. And she was very cooperative with law enforcement. She provided consent to go in to the camper. She provided information. She agreed to testify. In fact, she did testify against Mr. Park at a prior evidentiary hearing. So that's to her credit. And I do believe that since the co-defendant pled last Friday, I believe that was in strong part largely due to the fact that he believed that she was ready, willing, and able to testify to trial. So I do want to give her credit. She's received some benefit. I would ask that the court consider that in the sentence. And with that, we would leave it to discretion of the court, Your Honor.
All right. Just coming back. Ms. Hooker, did you have anything to say?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Your Honor, with the risk of, please, Judge. She did tell me before that with the assistance of Catholic Human Services, she was not accepted for inpatient at this time.
Yeah.
But she does tell me she's accepted for sober living. I don't have specific information as to where that process is.
All right. Thank you. Is that grandmother in the back room?
No, it's my aunt.
Aunt, okay.
Here we go.
Well, I don't know who actually owns that house at 412 South Grapeville Street.
Aunt Sandy's talking to you.
And Jenny.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
He wants to know who owns my parents' house.
It's okay.
Her dad's place.
It's okay.
I'm just her aunt.
Well,
I don't live
you're
in
not
Courtroom.
just an aunt. You are an aunt. What's your first and last name?
Sandra Hooker.
All right, thank you. All right, well, Sandra?
Her dad
Oh.
is the brother of my husband who is deceased.
All right, well, I'm very sorry for your loss. All right, thank you. So here's what I just want to say. Because part of sentencing is about deterrence. That's one of the drug houses here in the county, right? We all know that.
Everybody knows.
412 South Grapeville Street.
He gives out the
I've been
address.
saying it so often in the last month. It's a drug house. It's a drug property. No, it's okay. It's okay. Hold on. It's okay. You're not on the stand. So and I'm not trying to be rude. Just because I have to have you come up here and swear you in, and we don't need to do that. But I'm tired of mentioning 412 South Grapeville Street.
For the record.
There's people that live in that house that have nothing to do with it. They're elderly people that are in bad health.
And I appreciate that. That's partially why I'm mentioning this. So nobody there turns their eyes away from.
But that puts everybody that lives there at risk.
I agree. That's why I'm telling you, ma'am.
And I don't live anywhere near there. I'm not. I know. I'm not even a blood relative.
Okay, ma'am.
But I love Jennifer, and I want to see her turn her life around and do better.
It's okay. It's my
Why
fault.
I'm here with her.
It's my fault for starting the conversation. Thank you very much.
I wish I could have talked to you in private about this.
Well, ma'am, I couldn't allow that. That would be unethical. I can't have ex parte communication, but I appreciate it. I wasn't trying to insult you or anybody. What I'm
Well,
trying.
you kind of are, because I don't use drugs. I'm not involved in that kind of a life at all. And you have now included me in that same address.
Ma'am, I didn't. You told me you don't live there. I did not do that. So I'm just trying to say.
You're painting me with that
Ma'am,
brush.
we're done talking, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you. I was trying to be polite by saying, if you know the people that live there, let them know. Because I know this also involves a trailer or camper in the backyard. And so by letting you know, because by the way, I don't know what's always in my house. I've got 3 kids. They have tons of friends. That's why, by the way, I search the rooms when they're not paying attention. Because we don't have a 4th Amendment in the house. I was just trying to let you know so that there are people there. And if there are people that are elderly, then they need to be aware of these potential dangers. That's all.
Cindy, thank you so much. Go Vols.
I'm sorry that you took offense to it.
I did take offense.
I noticed you've already said that to me. And I'm trying to apologize to you. And if you don't like the apology, at least I've made it, because that wasn't my intent. My intent was to protect those that are there, especially if there are grandchildren around. If we don't talk about these things, then we all don't take the opportunities that we have to help protect people. So it was intended to be positive. And I'm very sorry that you took.
Well, thank you for your apology.
Thank you. All right, well, so here we go. Ms. Hooker did do a good job by helping the government on that one file involving Mr. Parker. And she's definitely received a benefit by getting this plea the way she did. I'm going to highlight something.
We're done with the spicy part.
Ms. Hooker, not everybody does this. Some of the public defenders locally catch it, and I'm not going to pick it on Mr. Nagos because he's new to it. And by the way, sometimes they put them in there just to make me feel better. Don't. This is all about you. Now, on this pre-sentence investigation report on page 1, there are comments about substances. I just want you to do it. It doesn't have to be on a piece of paper.
No, I got my PSI.
Yeah. Just look at that page 1. See at the bottom?
Yeah, prior record.
Yeah. You see those substances down there?
Yes.
you'll see that there's something missing. Now, I don't need them added, by the way. This isn't about correcting the piece of paper. In your own mind, or maybe on just your copy, you should put down September, whatever today's date, the 12th. So you know, right? Step one in any 12-step program is admitting the problem. So you are admitting the problem and this piece of paper for you and your family, and particularly those grandkids, although I don't have pictures of them. I rarely see ugly grandkids, so I'm sure they're adorable and cute.
Well, there.
Put an end date on there for you, okay? Jennifer, that's because I want to see you stop doing this. That's what it's all about. And I know the saying's cheesy, but it takes a village. It takes friends and family who live around you to all know that there is a problem and to help you. And by the way, that's why I was mentioning about the home, because I know that there are other people that live there. And I know that there are trailers and there are people that come and go. So I want them to be aware so they can help you and be vigilant, because we don't live alone. We have people that live with us and that love and care for us. All right, so I need to be able to establish the reasonable portion, plus because this is a misdemeanor, I have to establish reasonable grounds. There was another person involved in this case. There was a test of positive while on bond, positive for, I believe, was methamphetamine and marijuana. Their criminal history has some issues. Starts off with retail fraud, and here's what I've got. I need to draw my attention to. It took about a little under 2 years before we picked up case number 2. Then it took you about 8 years before you picked up case number 3. Miss Odell, there's going to be a couple changes here that I didn't catch. Between number 3 and 4, you made it 4 years. So that's telling me you, at some time when you were a bit younger, not that you're old at all, and I hate talking about age, old, too old, whatever. Between 4, so you had some time where you weren't overlapping. But then 2011 seems to be an important time period for you. I don't know what it was. I want you to think about what it was.
What year?
2011. That's page 6, CFJ 284B, page 6. Here's why I think something began to happen. Because between 4 and 5, you made it 2 months. That's really fast, back to back. And you got destruction of property and domestic violence. And then for that domestic violence, number 5 of 18, you violated probation. And you'll see that you violated probation just a couple months after the sentencing. Not even that, 1 month. So already by the end of 2011, things aren't going well. That's why you picked up number 6 of 18 while on probation. So Miss Odell, we need to change that status at the time of the offense. Now in that case, you received at least 2 probation violations. Well, when you picked up number 7 of 18, we know that you were on probation, so that status at the time of the offense needs to be correct. And you'll note that in that instance, within a very short period of time, after being convicted of retail fraud, you picked up another retail fraud. And yes, I know it's an attempt. Then you had a couple cases dismissed, which I'm glad to see that that happened, and that for whatever reason, I don't need to know. So those don't really go into my consideration today. So something happened in 2011. I don't know what it is. And you don't need to tell me.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that that's what I'm seeing. So maybe you can ask yourself questions. What happened in my life back then? All right, so entry 11 of 18, you get another retail fraud. Kind of worries me because drugs and theft cases go back to back.
Hand in hand, unfortunately.
And then between that and 12, you made it about 6 weeks. So Miss Odell, for number 12 of 18, we need to change that because she was on probation. She'd only been on probation for 6 weeks. You were off of probation as of March 5th of 2020, and you made it 6 months. So now something's happening in 2020. I want you to think about what happened in 2020. We're back to retail frauds, possession of meth. Now, these two cases, 13 and 814, I know you hadn't been picked up on 13 yet, but you had two cases.
Looking for another court, guys. I just can't find.
Now, when you picked up the sentence for 14 of 18, you violated probation. And I want you to note here.
Can't find a good court that's.
The sentence was on November 13th. It looks like you were sent to residential treatment. And it took you less than 2 months, about 6 weeks before you were violating the terms or conditions.
13th Judicial District
So
is
it didn't even take you. I'm sorry?
I completed rehab twice.
Let's go to Judge Webster.
I got it. I'm not saying you didn't complete it, but I'm
Your attorney says you wish to waive your right, or is that what you're doing, so?
Yes. Go to Judge Webster.
All right. And you do have the right to deny each of these allegations, but I understand your attorney says you're stipulating that is agreeing to at least number one, failing to find or to maintain regular full-time or part-time employment and provide proof that you were doing so to CSO Sealy. Did you do that?
I don't like that.
Yes, I was trying to find a job, and because it was for more serious charges, but I mean, that's, it was way before this stuff, and I just got wrapped up in that, and I had to see my PO up there every week, you know what I mean? And it just...
Well, hold on. It sounds to me like you're denying it, so we'll need to have a hearing. Are you wanting the CSO to testify that you didn't provide proof to her that you were doing this? You're saying you were maintaining regular employment?
No, I was trying to find a job. I just couldn't find a job. Yeah.
Able to. Okay.
Yes.
So you're agreeing to it, but wanting to provide a reason why you didn't comply.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay. And how about failing to report to the CSO's director? Do you stipulate that is agreed to that or deny it?
My phone was shut off because
regardless of your reasons, I just need to know if you want the officer to testify to that.
Yes, ma'am.
You want the officer to testify?
Or no.
Okay, no. So you agree that you didn't, again, you agree that you violated your probation, but you have an explanation for it. All right. How about the third condition, that you failed to pay all your fines and costs associated with the cases directed? Did you fail to pay the fines and costs?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the final condition, that you failed to report all changes in residence, telephone number, employment, and law enforcement contact. Are you agreeing that that is true? Or do you want the officer to testify?
No, I mean, yes, because I did get picked up, so yeah.
Your Honor, I think maybe, are you looking at the actual motion to revoke probation? Because
I'm looking at the warrant to show cause why his probation should not be revoked.
I think actually what Mr. Paul announced was in regards to the motion to revoke, there's statements 1, 2, and 3. Number one, the defendant failed to pay court costs and fines, and that was $603. Number two, defendant failed to report to probation officer as required, never made contact after court on January 31st of 25. And then number three, placed on non-reporting probation. Well, court can read it. Those are what he actually stipulated to, I believe is the way Mr. Paul presented it. So that may make a little bit more sense to Mr. Wise.
And what I'm hearing Mr. Wise tell me is that he does not need to have the evidence. He agrees that they're true allegations, but that he has an explanation why he was unable to do each other.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr.
I think
Paul,
what theirs are more immediate, what they claim is mitigation of the situation than actual
Right.
defenses to it. You're
Okay.
right.
Correct. Yeah, I would agree with Mr. Dean on that.
All right, well, I am going to find that Mr. Wise is knowingly. Is anyone making you give up your right to hearing, Mr. Wise?
No, I just want to get this taken care of, ma'am, and get moved on.
Okay, so I'm going to find that he's knowingly and voluntarily waiving his right to an evidentiary hearing, that he is stipulating that the allegations to violations are correct, but that he wants to offer some mitigating circumstances for why he was unable or did not comply, and that should be taken into consideration on the revocation issue. Mr. Paul, am I understanding correctly what the defense's position
That is correct, Your Honor. You've hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
All right, so then at this time, I'll find he has violated his probation, and then on disposition, ask parties to make any arguments or statements they wish to. We'll start with Mr. Dean. What's the state's
Your Honor,
position?
the state's position is what the court has the record in front of it. I agreed to stand silent. So in compliance with the agreement for the stipulations, I shall stand silent.
Okay.
Mr. Paul?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wise has spent a considerable amount of time in Douglas County and especially the Greenwood County Jail. He has done at least over a month on this case. Judge, he has already said that he's already given you reasons, basically, as Mr. Dean said, mitigation. He had issues with his phone. He was trying to find employment. He could not find employment. Your Honor, until this warrant was filed back in August, he had what, seven months of basically compliance on his case. So, Judge, I would ask that, and I know that in the meantime, his non-reporting probation was terminated. He went to reporting probation. Marcus has some, and I'm sure you're looking at him up on Odyssey. He does have a failure to appear out of Wyandotte County because he was being incarcerated on this case in this county. And you know how counties take that. They don't care why you didn't show up, even if you're incarcerated. So, and also, Your Honor, Mr. Wise actually bonded out like a day or two ago on this case. So, I mean, it kind of shows that he wants to comply. I'm not going to sugarcoat it to the court that he has been perfect on compliance. But, the thing about it is on this warrant to show cause and in the affidavit and everything is I haven't read anything where Mr. Wise has committed any kind of new crimes. So I would still say he is amenable to probation, put him back on probation, extend it if you need to. Judge, if you're so inclined not to do that, I believe Mr. Wise has spent at least maybe half of his time, I think, in and out on this case. Judge, I would ask for a modification and to 60 days and close the case with fines open and owing. I think Mr. Wise even admitted that he had another probation in another county that he's maybe facing even more serious consequences than in front of this court. And I don't want Mr. Wise to make a statement about that case, but that's what my recommendations would be at this time, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Dean, did you have anything further you wanted to say?
No, Your Honor, I agreed to stay silent.
Okay. Ms. Morgan, I know that you weren't the one initially supervising this defendant. Do you have any recommendations to the court as to disposition at this time?
Your Honor, I do want to clarify that this was filed in April of 2025, and he was picked up in August. But he has been in custody since, I think, August 6th to now. And he never reported on probation. So we have had no contact from him at all. But in terms of my recommendations, I don't have a lot, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Wise. I have questions that your attorney probably will not want you to answer.
Do ask them, though.
Let's see here. The original charges were driving while suspended after a prior, and that seems to be the only one. Back in March of 2024. Court services didn't see you apparently between April and August.
Yeah, I think I like this. Oh well.
Don't say a word, please.
Okay. Yes,
Don't say a
yes,
word,
sir.
Marcus.
Yes, sir.
We've done what we were going to do. It's up to Judge Webster now.
Yes, sir.
Don't talk to the judge, please.
Sorry about that interruption, Your Honor.
No problem.
It was appropriate.
Was Lyon the other county he's been in? Did I hear? Was it Lyon or some other county?
It was another county, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge, I said Wyandotte County.
Wyandotte. Okay.
Is what I said previously.
W-Y. W-Y, not L-Y. Okay.
Yeah, correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, and he's been in custody how long between the two counties, if anyone knows off the top of their head?
Well, Judge, he's been in Douglas County. He was picked up in Douglas County 8/1, according to my notes, and he was transported to the Greenwood County Jail on 8/7. That is actually written on the warrant to show cause return.
Deputy, has he been with you in Greenwood County since 8/7?
I believe so. I don't have the sheet with me right now.
That's what it says in my paperwork.
Okay.
Judge, if you look at the return that was filed August 7th, at the bottom there's handwritten where he was arrested and when he was transported.
Okay.
I have a copy of it right here in front of me, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you as a sanction for your violation the number of days you've been in custody since August 1st, which looks like it would be
just time served.
About 42-ish, but whatever it is, that's going to be your sanction. You're going to get credit for that time served. Your probation is going to start again for it was originally 1 year, 6 months, it looks like 6 months. I'm going to give you 1 year from today. It's started over again. All conditions as before. And it's not enough to be looking for employment and being turned down. You need to give proof of what you're doing to your court service officer. You need to be showing some kind of good faith effort that you're out there finding aluminum cans and finding somebody to accept them to give you money towards your probation.
Yes, ma'am.
Some kind of effort.
Yes, ma'am.
And,
she's willing to accept anything, but just some effort's required.
No excuse for not reporting. Borrow a friend's phone if you have to and set up a time if they'll let you do it, however they want you to do it. You need to find a ride or I will let you transfer. What county are you living in now?
Douglas County here.
What town? Lawrence?
Lawrence, Kansas. Yes, ma'am.
Are you a student or what are you doing there?
My father lives there, and I stay with him.
All right, I'll let you transfer that to Lawrence County if probation is comfortable with that here and there.
That would be Douglas County.
That would help a lot actually because
that would be Douglas County.
My stuff. Well, I mean, I'm not going to speak too much about it, but
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Honor.
That's what you need to say, Marcus. You need to thank the judge.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, but I'll allow transfer to your home county as long as you're truly living there.
Yes.
And you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And they've gone over those with you. They'll go over them with you every time if you show up. But any questions or comments about what I've done or am trying to do here, folks?
No, not at all, Your Honor, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
But you better try harder next time, because I'm not going to probably give you another chance like this. And I don't know if another judge would.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
there indeed another county supervising you, Mr. Paul?
I believe so, Your Honor.
How about if he tells us that?
Yeah,
Mr.
that's fine. Where's your other supervision out of?
It is out of Wyandotte, but they also have transferred me to Lawrence, so I would potentially be seeing the same for both.
All for both, and
yeah, and that would help me out tremendously. Yeah. That way I don't get, because I think what really happened is I just got overwhelmed, you know what I mean, and had too much going on.
We're going to try to make your life a little easier.
Okay, so that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, guys.
The easiest way to make it better is don't commit any new offenses, don't get into, other areas, stay away from any frat parties with alcohol, any liquor stores, that kind of stuff. Stay away from illegal drugs.
Yes, ma'am.
So those frat
But yeah,
parties,
you can transfer it to your home county.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And that's provided. I'm going to make you check in with Miss Morgan. When does he need to check in? As soon as he gets out of jail? Come to your office or what?
Your Honor, I'm not sure that he might have holds in other counties.
He has a hold in Wyandotte County.
Yeah.
So I will go over and meet with him before he's released in the jail.
All right. You make sure you do what she tells you to do, young man.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
All right.
Richard, I apologize, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I did have one question for the journal entry because I was getting that time credited in there. And Jessica, maybe you could answer this for me. I just wanted to ensure that, well, first, he had previously served the 5 days that had been ordered at sentencing, because that should be credited. And then, Richard, did you indicate August 1 was the date he'd been picked up?
Yeah, that's what it shows on the warrant return sheet. He was picked up 8/1.
So give him credit from today through today, or from August 1 through today.
Correct.
The 5 days prior, but.
Correct. Okay. And then judges using the time from 8/1 to today as his sanction.
I'm assuming he's served that because it wasn't contained in the allegations of violation.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. I think we've got it figured out now.
All right.
Okay.
Marcus, here's the time I tell you I don't want to see you again.
Yes, sir.
Strike. Okay.
So am I they're going to send me to the next county then?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Like your attorney said, we don't want to see you again.
I don't want to see you either.
Unless it's in the store or somewhere.
With all due respect.
Not here.
Yes. Understood completely.
Thank you, Judge.
Feelings
let's take up
mutual.
Mr. Sullivan.
Sweet. That was funny. I don't want to see you either.
Hey, Colby.
Where's Mr. Sullivan? Is he in jail too?
Top middle.
No, he's not. He's the bearded man. It says Colby Sullivan on his.
I'm actually I just started a job today, so I'm at work right now, sitting here. My boss is sitting right across the desk from me.
Excellent.
He might.
No, not really.
Work is good.
Not
Work
really.
is good.
No, it's good that you're with at your job. I'm not so sure about the boss.
Yeah.
Boss, like you have
well,
court
we are
on day one.
the record in 25 TR 49, State versus Colby Lee Sullivan. Please announce appearances.
Kansas Superior by Assistant County Attorney Paul Ayden.
Richard Paul on behalf of Mr. Sullivan, who appears by Zoom at a separate location in the council. Your Honor, we are set here for sentencing today. I have provided a 7th direction drug and alcohol evaluation. Judge, what I think the state is going to recommend is the mandatory minimum fine. I'll let him do that. The only thing I would need to address is court-appointed attorney's fees. I believe that according to the assessment that he had, Mr. Sullivan has been recommended to complete an 8-hour ADSAP class. I think that is definitely appropriate in this case. And then I'll kind of wait to see what the state has to recommend, Your Honor. That's all I have.
All right. Where does he work?
I'm with 316 Rentals right now.
316 Rentals. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I believe he's maintenance, HVAC, things of that nature, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, just let the
Mr.
boss
Dean,
give the pitch for the company.
recommendations?
Yeah, his first offense, driving while suspended, I believe all the rest of the counts went through or dismissed with prejudice. Support that, Your Honor, I'd ask for a 6-month controlling sentence, suspended for 12 months of reporting probation, with all standard and special conditions the court would normally impose for an offense of this nature, including the completion of the ADSAT program ordered or recommended by the 7th direction evaluations been provided to myself, that it'd be assessed a $750 fine. Court costs, I'm sure there's no KBI on this, I don't believe so.
I don't believe so.
See anything from KBI. So, mortgage and processing fee, appointed counsel fee if the court believes it's appropriate, probation fee in the amount of $60. And I know the court generally orders victim impact, as well as, seemed like there was one other course of court, but generally require under for the DUI.
Sounds like he's just winging
victim
it.
panel.
Yeah, victim impact panel. And I believe that would be everything the state would have to recommend.
Now, I'm showing that on July 18th, he pled only to count 1 to DUI and the other 2 were dismissed. Is that what you're showing?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Paul, before I pronounce sentence?
Judge, I think all those are appropriate. I don't know how long Mr. Sullivan has worked at 316 Rentals, nor do I know how much he gets paid.
Day one.
Today.
He doesn't know either of those either.
I just started today.
Oh, okay. Well, Judge, I mean, just with the fines and everything else, that's close to $1,000. I would ask that the attorney's fees be waived, but as always, that's to your discretion. And then I don't have any other recommendations.
Okay, on that issue, remind me, Mr. Sullivan, if you're married or single and if you support children.
I'm single with 3 kids.
All right, I will waive attorney fees since you have the family of 4 and you just started your job today. That'll give you some time to start paying on your fines and costs, and you better make some effort on those since I'm waiving your attorney fees. I am assessing a $750 fine, $108 in court costs, and $45 in booking fee. Additionally, I'm ordering a 6-month jail sentence that will be suspended. You will not have to pay that provided you successfully comply with a 12-month reporting probation. All standard conditions will apply, and probation will go over those with you. The first condition will be to call your probation office today at your first available break. Their number is 316-322-4153, and then they will decide which office will supervise you. What county are you living in, Mr. Sullivan?
I'm in Butler County, ma'am.
I would not object to them transferring supervision to Butler County since they're in the same district we are especially. But that will be up to the Greenwood and Butler County divisions of the 13th Judicial District. Otherwise, you are required to comply with the recommendations in your drug and alcohol evaluation, complete the 8-hour alcohol drug safety action program, the ADSAP, complete a DUI victim panel, do not possess, consume, or be around alcohol or illegal drugs, or anyone in possession knowingly and obviously in possession of those things. So if you're watching a show at a friend's house and they start pulling out the beer, they're either going to have to put it up quickly or you're going to have to leave the party.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
I understand.
Don't go to liquor stores. Don't go to bars. Now, if you happen to be at a restaurant that has a bar, you can eat at the restaurant as long as you do not go near the bar and have any beers or drinks of that sort with your dinner.
0 beers.
They'll go over any other conditions. You'll have a curfew. You'll have travel restrictions that the probation officer go over with you in detail. You must report when they tell you to report. You must submit to any UA or hair follicle tests that they tell you to when they tell you to. You must pay your fines and costs on a monthly basis. They're going to set up the amount each month that you're to pay. Your first payment will be due 30 days from today, which is about October 12th of 2025. Is there anything else, counsel, that I need to address that I didn't?
Your Honor, one thing that I failed to address, and I know it's not a standard or it's not required, as I recall, there's different options now in regards to any kind of mandatory minimum 48-hour sentence, Judge. Probably not appropriate to call it mandatory. But in any event,
this guy just seems to be
I had
bumbling
not
along.
addressed that. So however the court wants to handle that, if the court is ordering anything in that regards, he did not serve 48 hours a day of arrest. He followed it out the same day he was arrested.
Okay. Mr. Paul, anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, Judge, you know, after everything's been said and done by the legislature, that 2 days isn't mandatory anymore. I think when we were entering into plea negotiations, and Mr. Dean can correct me while I'm wrong.
Does he have fish pillows behind him?
I don't believe we even discussed that, Judge. So what I would ask is that you not sentence him to any time. He's going to be on reporting probation. He like Mr. Sullivan has said before, you know, he's taking care of a household of 4. He just started work, and I would not want anything that would jeopardize that, Your Honor. That's all I have on that.
Well, I think there was some value to the 48 hours, but the legislature, for whatever reasons, decided to take that mandatory provision away. So I didn't order it, and I won't, but he'll be making up for it if he gets into trouble again.
Yep.
Of course, that doesn't protect people out on the road if he decides to get into trouble drinking and driving again. Mr. Sullivan, have you understood? Have you come to realize that is one of the worst things you can do is drink and drive?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
That not only could you put the father of your children at risk, but any other fathers or children out there on the road?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
What about the wife?
Can you assure me you won't do that again?
I 100% do.
Do ladies just
Well, hopefully they'll show you some additional reasons, and that adds up, some firsthand reasons. And you can hopefully benefit from the family victims of DUI or the personal victims of DUI at that panel that you have to listen to that can tell you, remind you from time to time, and think about what they tell you so you don't get tempted again. All right, if there's nothing further, that is the defendant's sentence, and report today by telephone to probation. If there's nothing further, we'll be in recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, with the defendant being excused at this time and to go back to work.
Good luck on your new
Make sure
job.
you maintain that employment, sir, and provide proof to your probation officer, and you're free to go at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's take up Mr. Krasinski at the Greenwood County Courthouse at this time, Your Honor.
All right.
Let's see if we want to stick with this one or bail. It's going to be, if the audio is good, we'll stick with it.
We're on the record in 2025 TR 221, State of Kansas versus Brian O. Krasinski. Please announce appearances.
State of Kansas appears by through Assistant County Attorney Paul.
Richard Paul, on behalf of the defendant who appears via Zoom at the Greenwood County Courthouse at a separate location than counsel.
Announcements, Mr. Paul?
Yes, Your Honor. Pursuant to plea negotiations, Mr. Krasinski is going to plead to driving while suspended, second offense, a Class A non-person misdemeanor. Judge, we would stipulate that the ticket that was filed in this case on May 15th of 2025, where Mr. Krasinski was driving on 4th Street in Hamilton on that day, and then that he did not have a valid driver's license. The state is going to recommend a $200 fine, court costs, booking fee. As for attorney's fees, Mr. Krasinski is on disability. In all candor to the court, Mr. Krasinski has been suspended since 2015. Mr. Krasinski was moving. He had been evicted and was driving that day to try to get to a new residence when he was pulled over, Your Honor.
It's not okay.
Mr. Krasinski also knows that there is a 5-day jail sentence that comes along with that. After speaking with Ms. Krasinski, he may have already done his 5 days, Judge. Maybe Mr. Dean can verify that for me while we're doing the plea. But if the court orders him for 5 days and does not give him credit for the 5 days that he's already served, we would ask that that be scheduled in. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Dean?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Paul has accurately set forth the agreement, and I'll see if I can confirm out of this file. He posted bond on July 24th with Don Kirkham. And
was
arrested on May 12th. So, yeah, he got his 5 days done.
Right.
So I'll give him, I'd recommend credit from obviously July 24th through the May date through July 24th. Against the, I believe it was 6 months recommended sentence, suspended for 6 months on reporting. And I have no objection to that 5 days, obviously being credited as already served.
Well, counsel, I show that at his appearance June 3rd, he failed to appear.
Oh.
So he may have been out of there.
Oh.
That may be in the second bench, the bench warrant that you're thinking of on that bond, if you want to look into that.
Judge, I think he has at least served the minimum 5 is what I am.
Well, I don't want him to get credit for time served on a bench warrant.
Your Honor, I found a note on the bench warrant. The bench warrant was returned July and entered on July 25th. By Greenwood County Officer 17, can't quite make a signature, indicated that he was in custody on July 23rd. Yeah, July 23rd. So, and then he puts it on the 4th. I don't show. When his first appearance was.
The first appearance was set for June 3rd. That's when he failed to appear. Next appearance for first appearance was reset when he failed to appear after arrest August 12th. Mr. Krasinski, usually the defendants know exactly how many days they set in jail. How many did you set?
I spent 5 days in.
I want to know how many you spent. Just 5?
Yeah, altogether, yes.
Just 5?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure, but I've got a memory problem, so.
All right. Well, how do you plead, sir, to driving while suspended in Hamilton Greenwood County, Kansas on May 12th of 2025.
Guilty.
You're admitting that you were driving?
Judge, we'll say no contest. He does say he has memory problems, so
All right.
we'll
So
say
you're pleading, you're neither admitting the charge, but you're not denying it, wanting to take it to trial either? You're pleading no contest?
Yeah.
And by pleading no contest, you're not admitting the charge, but you don't want to take it to trial either?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, that's what your attorney says. Do you agree with your attorney?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Is anyone making you enter this no contest plea today by any threats or promises other than the plea agreement?
No, ma'am.
All right. And the factual basis is according to the facts alleged by the officer on the citation, Mr. Paul?
that is correct, Your Honor, and it's been filed in this case. It was filed on May 15th of 2025.
All right. And you're stipulating that that's what your evidence would show, Mr. Dean?
Yes, Your Honor. And in regards to the credit for time served, we may have to set this for a review, unfortunately, unless Missy, if you could contact the jail and see how many days they show that he served. He actually did not serve any time when he was originally picked up. He was given a notice to appear, then the bench warrant was issued. He bonded within a day. I suppose technically he could get credit for 20 or for 2 days, picked up on the 23rd, bonded out on the 24th.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened in that August time period. I don't have anything about showing when he was picked up or how long he sat in jail on that one.
Judge, what I would ask is that maybe we just need to set this on that October 10th date so we kind of reserve sentencing until that time.
Well, let's see if Missy has time or if anyone from the sheriff's office can help her get that. In the meantime, I'm going to find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily entered a no contest plea to count 1, the sole count, driving while suspended. Miss, what about that prior conviction? Does he stipulate that he had a prior conviction, Mr. Paul?
Yes, Judge, and I think when you were talking, you just said driving while suspended.
I did.
I don't think you said second. I mean, there is a previous conviction out of the Emporium Municipal Court.
Okay, and that's what your record would show and your evidence would show, Mr. Paul or Mr. D?
Yes, Your Honor, and it's a non-reporting probation, so we'll set it for pay or appear, so we can all make a note in the journal entry. We need to verify the 5 days has been satisfied.
All right. So I find that you have knowingly and voluntarily entered your plea. You are admitting that you had the prior conviction. No, you're pleading no contest. That you've entered a no contest plea and that the state has provided a factual basis to show that you could be found guilty if this and would be found guilty if this went to trial. Finding you guilty of driving while suspended after prior conviction. Counsel, did you say what you were recommending as an underlying sentence other than the 5 days?
6 months, Your Honor.
Yes.
With how much probation?
6 months.
Non-reporting, you told me just a moment ago?
Yes, correct.
All right, I'll follow your plea agreement and sentence you to 6 months in the Greenwood County Jail.
Okay, hang on. We need to jump.
But if you don't want to serve anymore.
Well, you're going to pay it by the 19th.
Yes. Eugene
the whole
Rankin
balance.
Yes.
is on the beach.
So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Here's what I will do.
It's not a screenshot. It's
partially because it's
live from Bahamas or Hawaii or something.
If you get it paid by the 19th, then the case will remain closed.
Okay.
Dismissed. Pay it by the 19th. Then I will sign a judgment with a writ date as though it had happened today. So you'd have like 3 days to get it paid.
Understood.
Okay. You understand what I'm doing?
I understand.
You follow that, Mr. Friedman?
I do.
All right. And so they'll send you a copy of the COD if it comes in.
Okay.
That's fine. But
pretty sure that's a
we'll
video.
Do it that way,
it's just looping.
Okay.
But
all right. So I'll mark this conditionally dismiss, order to follow.
What a flex.
But if not, judgment will enter. with the writ date of the 22nd.
Okay. Understood.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Let's see if the judge sees it.
It's 75 and sunny. Lake, Your Honor.
All righty, sir. Take care. Have a great weekend. Arbor Woods versus Leticia Johnson.
Now I'm on the beach.
And is there somebody else? There is. Adrian Johnson. Oh, but I know I did that. Go ahead, Ms. Smith.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Casey Matson, P87729 on behalf of plaintiff.
No matter, Ms. Matson, no matter what anybody said, I did not throw you under the bus. All right? I'm just letting you know. It was not me. Anyway,
thank you, Your Honor.
The only reason I didn't mention Adrian was Adrian. Anyway, your names.
Leticia and Leticia.
All right. Okay, where are we on this case? Go ahead, Ms. Matson.
Your Honor, I have a total balance of $2,860.68. There should be somebody over there today to take care of the remaining repairs on the ceiling and the ceiling for the ceiling.
That amount that you had was
$28.60.68, and that includes the court costs of $242.
Got it. All right.
I've got my fan
I
going.
put 500 on it today, actually, right before we came.
Feels like at the beach.
Do you see a $500 payment today?
It wouldn't show up that quick.
I do not have receipt of that today. The last one I have is from the 8th.
All right. And the repairs you say are going to be done today?
Yes,
the
Your
final
Honor.
on that? Okay. Is that your understanding also, folks?
Yes.
All right. Have you figured out how you're going to get the remaining part of this balance paid, or?
Well, we've just been paying on this slowly. I think by the end of the month, we should have most of it about done. We still got a couple more checks before the end of the month.
Yep.
Okay. So here's what I'll do, because the repairs have to be completed and I want to check on that. I'll adjourn this out to the 19th, 2025 at 1 p.m. for another in-person hearing.
Okay.
All right. We'll check the status of the repairs. And I suggest to you that you pay as much as you possibly can. And then we can see where we go from there.
All right.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Folks, have a great weekend.
Thank you.
I had to do a double take. I thought you were wearing a Courtroom Confidential hat.
Thank you. Court calls the case of Arbor Woods versus Leticia Thompson.
I need the beach guy. I need the beach case. If he comes up here applying sunscreen with a surfboard.
Hello.
Hello. What's
I'm
your
Tisha
name?
Thompson.
All right. And where are we on her case?
Okay, I made the $2,000 payment as agreed last Friday after I seen you. I applied to DHS. I have an appointment with them today between 1:45 and 3:45.
These are blue blockers only.
Hawk on September 17th, I believe at 10 a.m.
I'm still just as blind. I just doesn't get headaches.
And I mean, I can enter into a payment plan. Like I return to work next week.
Hold on a moment.
Sorry.
Did you get the $2,000 payment?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you have as her balance?
We have rent to retain of $3,401.19, cost of $186 for a total of $3,587.19. So we did receive that $2,000 payment.
Got it. And your SER application is still pending at this point because you got to meet with them today, correct?
Correct.
And I think I did get the form in to the court. Yes, I think I got the rental assistance form in. So she'd be entitled to another adjournment. Let me ask this, ma'am. How much do you think between now and next week you can pay?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
I think Well, we mute this for just a second. Watching this Zoom feed on Kerrville, this is a great business idea. Imagine like I've got cameras, I've got mobile Wi-Fi. I could set up a service where you could go to the beach and still appear in court, and I could just run the connection for you. We'd use wireless mic. You'd have great audio, a solid connection, and you could just be on the beach. You know, it's your job to dress appropriately for court. I wouldn't do that for you, but what a background. And you could use it for Zoom meetings, corporate meetings, interviews, just mobile. I just go to the beach every day and film you as you do your work in the office. Let's start that business. That would be great.
Yeah, and whatever, but we'll see where you are next week.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What time am I supposed to come to next on the 19th?
1 o'clock.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That just means I get to live at the beach
Have
as
a great
well.
day, everybody.
You do the same. Court calls the case of Arbor Woods versus, is it Zarn Lat?
The problem is the AI suit would not be there when I'm looking at them. You know, focusing.
Zarn Lat, they are not here. If you'd like to take a default, raise your right hand.
Your Honor, there is actually only a small balance remaining on this account. There's only $20 remaining, so we would just ask for an adjournment so we can get that balance paid.
Okay. September 19, 2025, 1 p.m.
It's going to cost more
Thank you, Your Honor.
to make the appearance.
Thank you.
Okay, that bugs me. It's going to cost
Arbor
more for this
Woods
attorney to
versus
show up
James
for
Lester
10 minutes
III.
than they will get and collect.
And
just
Yolanda Lester.
Use her our sunny beach. Oh, man.
Thank you.
It's not just beaches. I mean, if you got like a peaceful backyard or something, you could rent out for Zoom meetings. What a great way to just bring a calming influence to a meeting that could have been an email.
You good?
James Lester?
Yolanda Lester.
Thank you. All right. And where are we on this case at this point?
So, Your Honor, we were able to resolve the issues with the misapplied money orders. Those have been applied. At this time, the late fees have been removed, and the month-to-month charges that were incorrectly applied to the ledger have also been removed. So there's just a small balance remaining. It's $8.59.
Did you say $8.59?
$58.
Oh, 58. Okay, I thought you said $8. Okay.
That is for water and sewage. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have a money order for it right here.
I don't doubt that. She has the money to pay it. So here's what I'm going to do. You're going to take that over to the office.
Oh, absolutely.
Ms. Lester, I don't doubt that you're going to do everything you tell me. From the last year, I just said, I don't want to make a rant. That's been your life, hasn't it? Yeah, okay.
I think the tide's coming in.
I would like to say that, you know what, we tried to rectify this with the office there because we own this home since
Yes,
2019. I never missed a payment. We always paid early. They keep switching property managers. So we release the property.
No, I remember you saying.
Yeah, and every time they do it, something comes up.
No, I got you, but.
And, you know.
I'm on it.
I'm sick. This almost, you know, it caused rift between our marriage. I had to go to the VA hospital for 2 days because it stressed me out. You know, I'm telling them I paid them. We have receipts. They tell them that we didn't.
We passed all that. It's all done. I have a question.
But you're still married.
Yeah.
Okay, see? So it wasn't that bad.
We just got married.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there any way we can guarantee that the sheriff is not going to come knocking on my door?
No.
Because this situation
you know what?
Evolved into.
I will give you the guarantee because they don't come until they have a judgment or something else, and I sign an order directing the sheriff to be there. I'm not going to sign that order because, Ms. Lester, you're telling me you have the $58 change. You're going to
absolutely
pay that.
It's most likely a mobile home.
What you're going to do.
They're renting
and
the lot.
So at that point, and the reason I'm putting it out to the 19th is that once that's paid, they're going to submit a dismissal and the case is done. So nobody's coming knocking at your door. You guys are.
Okay, I do have one other question.
I knew you would.
When I spoke to her this morning, she mentioned something about attorney fees. Has that been waived? Because we don't feel we should be responsible for attorney fees for something that should not have. I mean, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, and meeting you, but we could have done it under different circumstances.
Okay, hold on a second. Counsel, I don't know the answer to that.
Yes, Your Honor. The rent to retain is $58.59. The court costs are $242. So there's a total of $300.59. We are working to see if we can do something about those court costs. So we were going to request an adjournment to the 19th.
Got it. Does that make sense to you? No, doesn't, does it?
It'll register later.
Pardon?
It'll register.
Let me just say, here's what.
We've got to come back here on.
Let me break it down for you.
Okay.
So you've got to go pay the 58.
Mm-hmm.
Because of everything, they're going to check, no guarantees at this point. They're going to go check as to whether or not what they're going to do with those attorney fees and court costs because of what had happened. Same thing that you're saying.
Right.
They don't, as I understand it, they don't have the answer for their client yet.
Okay.
Okay. You disagree with it. If their client comes back and they want that paid, then the decision becomes mine.
It becomes another issue.
Well, no, it just becomes, I make the decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't do anything wrong. Paid our rent early or on time.
We've been good people.
6 years.
Okay. So can we come back on
Not doubt that. You need to come back on the 19th.
On the 19th.
1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Will that work?
Yes. And I'm going to pay this on the way in.
Okay. Thank you very much. And Mr. Lesser, I want to say something to you. I wish that there had been a lot of young men in this courtroom and watched how you treated your wife. All right? Because
34 years. 34 years.
Yeah, but nothing got lost because when you got up and you've got the walker there, when you got up, she got up, but you made sure she went through that door first. And you just backed up, and I have to say I appreciate seeing that. Okay?
Thank you,
have
Your
a
Honor.
blessed weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Yes, ma'am.
It's awesome. And Bailiff Allen catches the gate for them on the way out.
Arbor Woods versus Angela Cater.
We've got to have the beach guy here soon.
Hello.
Hello, Ms. Cater. All right, what is the plaintiff's claim in this case?
Your Honor, we have rent to retain of $6,963.50, costs of $186, for a total of $7,149.50.
Ms. Cater, how is this going to be paid?
So I know I can have it at least $5,000 paid for sure by the 30th of this month. And I had a question on the ledger. In June, I came in to pay my June's rent, and I was told that my money order for May was missed. So somehow they found the money order, but then they were still charging me the fee for a non-sufficient fund fee. That was on the ledger as well.
How much was that fee?
It was $50, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, at this point,
right.
Certainly, if I had to make a decision on it, I'd figure it out. But you don't have the rest. It's not like you have the rest of it right now.
No, I don't. I don't have the rest of it right now. But I know for sure that I can have $5,000 paid by the 30th for sure.
How does a money order have an NSF
here's
fee?
the problem, Ms. Cater. And that is that if I give them a judgment today, it would be the 22nd.
Your Honor,
that you would have to have this paid by. Yes.
Your Honor, I'd just like to clarify for the record that the NSF fee was credited back to her account.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
No
Thank
problems
you.
then.
All right.
So, Your Honor, I would have had more today, but with my mother passing away and us needing to ship her body from Texas to Birmingham, that took my funds. I can have some. I probably can have 800 next week for sure, and then I know I can, like I say, I can have 5,000 by the 30th.
All right.
Sad things happen. It's terrible.
Well, there's not a whole lot I can do on this, and my condolences to you, and I understand that. But there's not a whole lot I can do on this. I pushed it out to this week over the objection of plaintiff, but I felt it was necessary to do that. But you've been here a number of times, Ms. Cater, and
Your Honor, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. The only reason why my June rent wasn't paid is because Amani wouldn't accept it because she said my money order had came back. So that's when that issue came in. So that's the only reason why my June, and she told me that she wasn't taking off the non-sufficient fund fee. So that's why the June rent didn't get paid, Your Honor. That's the only reason that got me back in this Trivago here is because when I did go in to pay my June rent, I was turned away because I didn't have the non-sufficient fund fee added in the money order at the time when I came into the rent office to pay my rent in June.
Okay. But
it's not
even paid. If that, and I'm not saying that didn't happen. Let's say it happened. You don't have those funds right now. And I get you say that there's a reason why, but you don't have those funds right now.
She would have spent.
That is correct. I have $500 right now, Your Honor, and I can. That's what I have left of those funds because I had to go into them for my mother.
Yeah. Okay. So, Ms. Cater, here's the best I'm going to do, and this is going to be over the objection of the plaintiff, but I'm going to find that there's no tribal issue after a hearing. I'm going to grant their a judgment for their total amount of $71.40, $49.50. I would then indicate that I'll extend your writ date to the 29th, a week out. So I'll give you another week on that. So
he's doing all he can, but
now, Ms. Cater, let me ask you this.
Yes.
If you had the 5,000, you said by the end of the month, can you have the 5,000 by the 29th?
I know on the 30th for sure. I can try for the 29th, but I know that the 30th will be the date, but I could try my hardest for the 29th,
okay.
Your Honor.
Let me ask you this, Ms. Cater.
Yes, sir.
If you had it on the 30th, then when would you pay the other $21.49?
I will be able to pay half of that on the 8th and the other half on the 15th. And I can add my October rent in there as well. If that's not already included in the...
That's not included in this
Okay,
balance.
yep.
All right.
I just picked up a second job for part-time. Well, right now I'm not doing anything because of what happened, but yeah. But I will be starting that second job.
Yeah, I think she's
very
telling the
soon.
truth. Yeah, it doesn't sound like she's being evicted, but...
Your Honor, we would object to any extension beyond the statutory 10 days. I mean, Ms. Cater's always had a balance on her account.
Yeah,
Yes, you're right. But it's always been other circumstances leading up to that. It hasn't been strictly because Ms. Cater couldn't afford paying her rent. When I originally moved in, Your Honor, there was issues with my unit, which I brought about to the property manager and everyone else who disregarded them, which
Cater,
brought us to
Ms.
you.
Cater,
Yes, sir.
Ms. Cater, I've been involved in enough of your cases, and there has been always sort of this huge balance by the time it gets to me.
Okay.
Somehow or another.
I got you.
First of all, I don't think running up these huge balances is the way that you should be operating. But
not at
on
all.
the other hand, I have to say that once you get here, somehow or another, you get it paid and taken care of, and you're still there. So here's what I'm going to do in this case. I'll do it over the objection of plaintiff. I would indicate that I will issue the judgment with a writ being September 30th, 2025.
Okay.
If defendant pays $5,000 on that day, then so that plaintiff doesn't have to refile again, but I'm going to include October, that defendant, then the writ date would be extended to October 15th. I think that's that Wednesday, but it's October 15th. That's the date you gave me.
Okay.
Where you would have to not only pay the balance, but also your October rent. So that if the balance and October rent is not paid, and I'm just going to let you know, Ms. Cater, I'm not hearing anything else.
Okay.
If they submit the writ, I'm not going to necessarily have a hearing on it.
Okay.
The only issue is whether or not it was paid.
Okay.
And I mean that on the 15th, your account needs to be zeroed.
Okay.
So that you're not coming back in here with this huge balance again.
Okay.
And I understand I'm doing that over the objection of plaintiff, but I'm going to do that in this instance.
I think that actually does.
Thank you.
Your Honor, that's
Go
the
ahead,
remaining balance plus October's rent by October 15th if $5,000 is paid on or before September 30th.
Correct. To trigger anything, she's got to get the $5,000 by the 30th.
Okay. The lawyer's going to convey that back to the management office.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Arbor Woods versus Lisa Thompson.
Where's Eugene? Is Eugene a lawyer?
Lisa Thompson.
I think he's a lawyer.
Oh, she's on. Got it. Okay, what does plaintiff have?
Your Honor, I have rent to retain of $3,264.44, costs of $186 for a total of $3,450.44. And we would be asking for a judgment today.
All right. Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
How are you going to get that paid?
Sir, I don't get paid until the 15th. I was literally going to give at least between $500 to $700, and then I don't get paid again to the 29th.
But, ma'am, and how much were you going to give on the 29th?
We're going to jump from this and go back to.
I was going to have the remainder balance.
Judge Webster just ended. No.
Have you tried to work out something with the landlord, ma'am?
I've called the lawyer's office as well, and I have not received a phone call back. I left messages.
I'm going to issue a judgment finding no tribal issue after a hearing in this matter. Ma'am, what day do you get paid?
I get paid the 15th, and then I get paid the 29th.
You get paid on Monday?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, we're going to go to Thurston County Small Claims. This is a new judge. Hang on one second.
$552.17 included the court filing fee. So the remaining amount will be $4,751.34. And I'll sign off on this judgment and sentence. It'll be emailed to you, or you can retrieve that from the civil department.
Okay, if you could email, that would be great.
So Ms. Sharp, you are completed your case, and I'll sign up on this judgment order.
We missed
Thank
the
you so
homeowners
much.
association one, or is that the next one? Sharp Trucking versus Carleon Beach Homeowners Association, maybe. See if there's another one that we've got here. It's just early in the docket for Thurston County, so might be some other things up and about up there. Nothing in Court 1. Got the state CAC calendar. Court 2. Court 3 has nothing, and Court 4 has nothing. Might jump to Court 2. Let's do that.
The state's position on that, and hadn't obviously gotten a response this morning.
Okay.
So we
How
would.
much time you think you need?
I don't believe more than 2 weeks logistically, but obviously whenever the court can fit. This technically is the new start of a speedy clock due to the FTA noted in the last hearing, but so I don't think there's any issue there.
All right. Well,
yo-yo?
what if we set a
Oh,
new
some
date
chew,
of October 3rd, that Friday, the first Friday in October at 9 o'clock? And then,
that should work great.
okay, so Mr. Wilder, we're getting your mail back. That might be part of the problem here. We need to see, we've still got the 301 East Wallace Nealon Boulevard. What's a better mailing address?
It would be
123 Sesame Street.
Slow down and give us the whole address.
Okay.
123 Sesame Street, Anywhereville, USA, 12345.
Okay, 28.
Judge, I covered it perfectly, and you.
Yes, ma'am. Or yes, Your Honor.
Okay. 2800 Limited Lane, Northwest.
Oh my goodness. 3 times.
Yeah. You got the zip, or you need a 98502?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then how about the text message reminder? Is that working?
Yes.
Good. All right. So we're going to be back October 3rd at 9. We're going to mail you notice. We're going to send you a text message reminder. You keep in touch with Mr. Pazderka, and that's it for today.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks. And then Speedy begins again today on a 90-day clock.
Because he failed to appear.
All right. Mr. Pazderka, back to you.
Hey, if we could next call Sean Colgan on the 9:30 calendar. He's present on Zoom, and there should be a plea form in the judge's folder.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Colgan.
Hello.
All right. Let me look and see what we got here.
What is that? Is that a credenza? What's that cabinet thing behind him? That might be his kitchen, but looks like it's a standalone.
All right, so I see a plea to reckless driving. So, Mr. Weston, you're amending this?
Correct, Your Honor. The state's amending the charge of DUI to reckless driving.
All right, so Mr. Colgan, I'll accept that change, and you're pleading guilty not to driving under the influence, but to a different crime, reckless driving under 4661-500. So you'll have to change the different sentence. You understand that?
Yes.
And do you feel you had enough time with your attorney to make this decision to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. In this plea of guilt are all of your rights to have a trial. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
you're giving up those rights to have a trial if you plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that your choice?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. All right. And I see there's a recommendation here on how the court should sentence you to this. Do you understand what the lawyers are asking the court to do?
They're asking to amend it to reckless driving.
And then to put you on probation for a year. And in that time, you're to show the court that you've gotten an alcohol or a substance use disorder evaluation. And if you need treatment, you start doing that treatment. You do something called a victim's impact panel. You stay clean and sober. You stay law abiding. Is that what you understand from the lawyer's recommendation?
Yes.
Okay. Now, after all that, the court doesn't have to go along with that.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Maximum possible sentence here is 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. And you're aware of that?
Yes. May I ask a question?
Sure.
Will I get a chance to tell you the work I've done since then?
Yes.
Right
I will hear from you before anything else happens. I'm just going to figure out what I'm doing now. And that's a fair question. Is I got to make sure that you're entering this plea knowing what you're doing. And then after that, if I accept your plea of guilt, then we're going to go to sentencing. And then I'm going to hear from everybody and give everybody a chance to talk. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
And if you have any questions along the way, it's just fine to ask about what we're talking about as we go. So I don't want to shut you down. So, all right. One thing that's going to happen for sure, if I accept your plea to reckless driving, the Department of Licensing will tell them and they will suspend your privilege to drive for at least 30 days. Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I've asked you to make a written statement here as to what you've done wrong. It makes you guilty. And I'm taking into consideration that when we started this, we found probable cause for driving under the influence, but you're pleading guilty to an amended charge. But all the same, you're saying on April 21st of 2025, you were here in Thurston County. You drove a vehicle in willful disregard for the safety of persons and property. Do you accept that as what you did wrong?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Now, importantly, has anyone threatened you with harm or made you any promises that have caused you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Well, how do you plead then to reckless driving?
Guilty.
Okay. Mr. Colgan, I will accept your plea now, and I'm doing that, finding that you know what you're doing. You're doing this voluntarily and intelligently, I find, and doing this understanding the consequences of pleading guilty.
Thomas is at the beach.
And your statement there, there's a factual basis. So now we'll move on to sentencing. I'm going to turn to the lawyers, but I will turn to you as well. So first off, let me hear from the prosecuting attorney if there's anything, Mr. Weston.
Your Honor, the state would ask that you follow the agreed recommendation.
Are you working on that, Judge Vincent? It's locked. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Forget it. All right, so I don't see, Mr. Weston, any other issues, no other criminal events, right? Okay. No. Mr. Pazderka?
Yes, Your Honor, we just ask that you follow the agreed recommendation. Mr. Colgan, yes, does not have any history. He has also already completed, I believe, an inpatient stay and is engaged in outpatient treatment. I know that still need to get that to the court, but he will also let him speak more in detail about all the work he's been doing. But based off of all of that work he's communicated to me in our conversations, I am very confident this is the last time we'll be seeing him in this setting.
That's awesome.
Good work, Mr. Colgan, sounds like you've been busy.
Yes, I have. I checked myself into state-sanctioned therapy, not therapy, inpatient at Sundown M Ranch in Sela or Yakima. I engaged in intensive outpatient, which was 4 days a week, 3 hours a shot for a month. And then I enrolled into outpatient, which is half-time. It's 2 days a week for an hour and a half. And I've been attending AA and subject to random drug tests, drug and alcohol. And I recently got a priest therapist at class 2 alcohol and drug counselor to be my sponsor.
Sweet. Sean,
And I'm seeing
good
him
work.
3 days a week.
That is awesome.
Way to go. In 3 some months, you've been very productive. Thanks for doing that.
Been my focus.
Yeah. Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And we're gonna, so have you, Mr. Pazderk, are we gonna get proof of all that from your office or from Mr. Colgan?
Mr. Colgan, I believe, I apologize. I'll make sure that he has all that information to send that to you, the court.
Okay. All right. Well, this is great news, Mr. Colgan. And I can see that you were like, yikes, I got to do something about this. And you have. And so I'm going to go along with this. There is no need for this court to impose any kind of jail sentence. You are already cleaning up after yourself, making it better, what you did wrong. And I'm just going to say that how much more time do you think you have in your treatment program, your outpatient?
I actually recently I lost insurance, so I can't afford it.
Okay.
But my therapist, as long as he's alive, and AA probably forever.
Okay. So, all right. So where were you in your outpatient program before?
I was about halfway through, and then insurance at August 31st.
Okay. What's the, looking forward, what's the likelihood of getting back into it and finishing that program?
Well, if I have insurance, when I get insurance, I would.
When will that be, do you think?
I don't know. I'm applying for COBRA right now.
Okay.
But it would be all out of pocket.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for a job.
Okay. All right. So when was the last time you were working?
April 21st.
Okay. And then what kind of work do you usually do, or what are you looking for?
I've been a 4th grade teacher for about 29 years.
Okay.
Yes,
So you're looking to go back into schools?
Possibly. Yeah, I am. I have applied. There's also a Green Hill in Centralia, I think, and I'm going to apply there, waiting on a letter of recommendation from a former counselor there. I'm going to try that, and then state anything I can get, really.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, that tells me a lot. I'm really glad that you've gotten going. You've got a really good sponsor. You've got, what I'm going to say here is I'm going to give you a little extra time here to get yourself back in to finish that outpatient treatment. And I'm sure your sponsor would say it's kind of important to do that. And I'm going to say by the end of the year, December 31st, because that gives you some time, 3 some months, to kind of see if you got a job coming up, see if insurance gets going, if your COBRA kicks in, all of that. So by then, so first off, right away, you can get to my probation department, what you did in inpatient, show that completion, and then show what you have already done with outpatient. And you could get the victim impact panel done. Have you done that 3-hour program where you hear from impaired drivers?
No, I have not.
Okay, that's probably fairly possible. I don't know, but I'd like to see that get going. Look into that. You can talk to your sponsor. You can talk to where you're doing your outpatient. They may have a good suggestion for you. But by December 31st, no later, will we have proof that you did your inpatient, that you're back in outpatient, and the victim impact panel's done. All right.
All right. I really wasn't getting much from it, to be honest. But I will. I feel like the route I'm taking more matches with the therapist. He's a former alcoholic as well, but
well, therapist as to mental health therapy.
No, he's walking me through the steps.
Okay.
The 12 steps.
But just without the group.
He's my coach. He's my sponsor for AA. And
all right. Well, maybe. All right. Is he state certified to do that sort of treatment?
Yeah. Yes. I'm sure. He's done it He's done it on the near Spokane. He's worked with Native Americans quite a bit. And he probably did it for 40 years.
Well, maybe that would suffice. I'm not sure. Why don't you see what you can do to get information into probation about what you're doing with him? And we can maybe make that decision. It might require us to have another hearing to see can we supplant that information for the outpatient. But right now, I'm ordering that you're back into outpatient by December 31st. But if you think you can cobble together some persuasive information for the court to consider to change that order, ask for a hearing and bring that information forward, and maybe we can evaluate it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
How would I do that? Would I do that through a lawyer or just call?
You don't have to. Just call the court and ask for a hearing to consider, and then you'd need some persuasive information from that person. We'd need to know their background and supply all that to probation so they can evaluate and what you're doing, and that person would give us monthly reports on compliance of what you're doing, and we'd see if we could take that instead.
Okay.
But we'd need lots of information from that provider, and it would have to be provided to probation before we even can get to a hearing for the court to make any sensible decision. All right.
Okay.
I can't promise anything, but so right now I'm going to impose a much reduced probation fee of $60 and a $43 court improvement fee. So out of the 5,000 available, 103 total is assessed. And I'm going to say we don't expect to see anything until the end of this probation. Can't close this case until I'd like to get things closed up by September of 2026. I have 2 years of jurisdiction, but I just want to take 1 year of probation for now, and then give you that time frame to get those things paid, understanding your financial situation right now. So you don't have to worry about that. You can put your money towards treatment. And I'm writing all of this down for you. Do you have any questions right now about what to do or not do, or what to do next?
No, if I could repeat though, I send in proof of the treatment I've had, and I have that. I believe Josh does as well. And I request a hearing, or I either start outpatient again December 31st, or I send in a lot of evidence about my therapist's past, and is that it?
See if it gets approved.
Well, by December 31st, probation should receive no later than that date that you're back in outpatient. Or you're right, you can ask the court for a hearing with information about who that therapist is, how they're qualified to do what they're doing with you, and that they're willing to tell probation every month what they're doing with you in writing. And then the court so you'll want to get to the court with a hearing far sooner than December 31st if you're trying to make a decision about whether you can do that instead of outpatient, because I want probation to receive by December 31st that you're in outpatient. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
And to pay the fine, how do I go about that?
Just call the court, live chat on the court, just drop in, just district court. However it works for you.
I don't just send in money?
You need to contact the court first to make those arrangements.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anything else you're thinking?
Don't just mail a stack of cash.
No.
Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to contact probation, and we can help you out there.
Now I'm looking for a job, and I have to go at least 30 days with no license. How does that work? Do I get a restricted driver's license or something?
That's no
Well,
license.
and that's the thing. You can talk to DOL. They very well may give you one, but DOL is in charge of that. They're going to send you a notice at that Ashbourne Lane about when that 30 days goes into effect, but you can contact them sooner than later and start talking to them about how to deal with that.
Don't staple your money.
Okay. And I think your work and treatment's going to go a long way towards that.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Well, congratulations on doing so much good work to get here. I'm hoping things look better, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You do. You too as well.
Thanks. So long.
Bye-bye.
All right, with that, it's lunchtime. It is 1 o'clock. It's time to get a little bit of food in us and stretch our legs for those who have been sitting here kicking our feet for a while. Can you see my feet? You can't see my feet. How embarrassing. It's time for lunch. All right. Good to have you all here. Welcome. It is Friday. The weekend is upon us. We're going to come back and do a little court hopping. It's probably going to be a short afternoon because it is a quiet day in the courts. We do have our ear to the ground. We're watching for some cases that we can pick up. As soon as we get one, we're going to jump to it, and it's going to be great. Big shout out to the moderators today. Threw you in the deep end there, and you guys did phenomenally. Thank you very much. I cannot thank you enough. You're amazing. Appreciate you. Portal. I haven't made a portal, but I can. That will ensure that I come back. But I will. I was on time today. That was my start. That was my commitment, to be on time. Portal or it didn't happen. So hang on. Let's see. There we go. Friday afternoon court watch. Portal is being created. We'll be back at 2. There we go. Okay, the portal's coming. The portal's coming. I've got the new one set up. Edit. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone. Make their day just a little bit better. Please stay safe. We go live again at 2 o'clock, which I will portal you over to it. It's set up. It's ready to go. You guys are the best. Good to meet each other. We'll see you in about an hour. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.